wrestling show on the planet. You can now watch and listen to the award-winning Busted Open podcast every single day on YouTube. Our best interviews, behind-the-scenes access, and some of our best content from the past. All available right now when you go to youtube.com/@BustedOpenPodcast. Subscribe right now.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM.
Let's go, man!
We're back on the track Sunday,
3:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Grant Park 165
from the Chicago Street Race.
Yeah!
On SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, in the car, and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Oh, yeah!
Get closer to everything that moves you, wherever you are, with the SiriusXM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer! Yes!
This slams the ball to right field, way back, way gone! Is Toronto Blue Jays baseball. Low rounding and heading for second to throw. In time on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Time for revenge. The Blue Jays offense has started to roll recently, leading the American League in runs over the last 10 days. Now, though, Toronto tries to continue it against a Houston starter that no-hit the Blue Jays in April. Hello and welcome to a nice evening at Rogers Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. Roger Lajoie is our host, Nick Blackmore is our producer, and Tom Young and Luke Swadron are our technical directors. Toronto Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Gatineau and Saint-Marie, Quebec. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com, Canada's #1 rust protection. If you hadn't guessed it already, Ronel Blanco is going today for the Astros, the righty who no-hit the Blue Jays in his first start of the season. Blanco, though, has run into some recent trouble, as has his opponent today, Yusei Kikuchi, for the Blue Jays. Stick around for first pitch on the other side. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, streaming on the Sportsnet app, sportsnet.ca, and across the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
So, you want to be a Looney Dogger, eh? Every Tuesday Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Grab $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Plus, stop by the Schneider's Porch, your hot dog headquarters. The destination for a one-of-a-kind hot dog experience with excellent ballpark views. So, whether you're the relish ringleader or seventh-inning snacker, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. Don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
The battle for European soccer supremacy has reached the knockout stage, and all the drama of the Euros is on SiriusXM.
Oh my goodness, what a story!
Every match is now win or go home, and they can all be heard on Fox Sports Channel 83.
That is sensational!
Before and after the matches, hear what the experts are saying on SiriusXM FC 157.
They are proven winners right now.
No one is covering Euro 2024 like SiriusXM. Listen in the car or on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, after this game, get back to what's really important. Your fantasy football team. We're talking about it right now on Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and the SiriusXM app. Net Radio Network.
1-0. Swing and a drive. Deep left field. That ball's back. That ball's into the seats. 3-run homer, George Springer, and the Blue Jays have blown it open. It's a 5-0 lead. Springer's 9th of the year, and Toronto has scored 4 runs with 2 outs.
That's kind of what we've been missing, is kind of that big blow there with guys on base, and I don't really think it's a coincidence that in the last 10 days or so, it's been spring kind of right in the middle of it. Today, just another example. Whether it's him, Vlad, Bo, JT, swings like that really change momentum of the game.
That was manager John Schneider after yesterday's game, talking about George Springer and more. The offense has ticked up. Springer has been a big part of it. And as we get set for Game 3 of this series at Rogers Center, I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Chris LaRue. George Springer, Chris, will lead off today for the Blue Jays.
Well, I think the most important thing when constructing a lineup, you want to put the guys that are getting on base in front of the guys that drive in runs. So George Springer, who was batting .500 in his last 7 games, with an on-base percentage of .556, which is very high. You want him in front of Spencer Horwitz. You want him in front of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with the hopes that he's on base when those guys come up to bat. I love George Springer. I love the fact that he is hot right now, and I really like that he's in the leadoff spot.
We will see what Springer can do today against the team he led off for so many times in the Houston Astros on the other side. Before we get into game action, though, let's go over to the Bet365 standings. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19+, play responsibly. Ontario only. Baltimore Orioles lead the AL East. They are 54-31. The Yankees in second are 54-33. Boston Red Sox in third, 45-39. Tampa Bay Rays are in fourth place. They are 43-42, and the Blue Jays are 39-46. Houston second in the AL West right now. They are also 43-32, like the Tampa Bay Rays. Blue Jays out on the field right now in their night mode uniforms, their City Connects. Astros wear great today. Who are in the lineups today, Chris, starting with Joe Espada's Houston Astros?
Well, leading off for those Astros and playing second base is Jose Altuve. Alex Bregman will play third and hit second. DHing and batting third is Yordan Alvarez. Behind the plate, batting fourth is Yainer Diaz. Jake Myers will be in center field and bat fifth. At short, batting sixth is Jeremy Pena. Mauricio Dubon is in left and will hit seventh. In right field, batting eighth is Chas McCormick. And batting ninth is Gray Kessinger. He'll be at first base. On the mound is righty Ronel Blanco. And for the Jays, leading off and DHing is George Springer. Spencer Horwitz will bat second and play second base. At first, batting third is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Bo Bichette is cleaning up and will play short. In center field, batting fifth is Dalton Varsho. Davis Schneider will play left field and hit sixth. At third, batting seventh is Ernie Clement. Batting eighth is Addison Barger. He'll be in left field. And batting ninth and catching is Brian Serven. On the mound is lefty Yusei Kikuchi.
Japanese left-hander makes his 18th start of the season, a 4-8 record, a 4.18 earned run average, 93 strikeouts and 21 walks in just over 83 innings of work. It has been a struggle for Kikuchi over the last run of starts. After a really impressive start to the season, he has slid backwards a little bit, at least in terms of his numbers.
Yeah, he's given up 13 earned runs in his last 3 starts. The most alarming thing in those last 3 starts is he's only walked 2. That means he's leaving a ton of pitches over the middle.
In those last 3 starts, 5 home runs allowed. Only gave up 7 home runs in his first 14 starts. Jose Altuve comes up to a chorus of boos to begin this game. Right-handed hitting second baseman, stands 5'6", open stance in the box. Looking out at Kikuchi, the pitch. Swing and a foul ball into the stands. Strike one. Time of the first pitch today, 7:07 Eastern. Pretty cloudy in downtown Toronto, although white clouds overhead. 27 degrees Celsius right now at first pitch. Roof open, here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Altuve lost his helmet on 97 at the top of the zone. It's 0-2. Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, and Yordan Alvarez will hit this inning. Kikuchi kicks, fires, and misses high and tight. Three straight fastballs for the lefty to start this outing. Throws a curveball, a slider, and a changeup as well. Here's 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Had him way out in front on the curveball. Altuve flails at it. That's the first out.
That was nasty. I said last night I have no idea how to get Jose Altuve out. But there is a way. You throw fastballs up and in at his hands, but then Yusei Kikuchi was able to just throw in that great curveball on the fourth pitch, and Jose Altuve was way out in front of it.
Altuve is down back in the dugout. Here's Alex Bregman, the third baseman. First pitch is a slider for strike one. Home plate umpire today is the crew chief, Dan Iasonia. Ben Mays at first, CB Buckner at second, and Adam Beck umpiring third. 0-1. Just outside. 1-1 count now. Kikuchi against Bregman. Alex Bregman, a .248 hitter, 17 doubles, and 9 home runs. On the verge of free agency, 1-1. Called strike 1 and 2. You figure he'll be a pretty heavily sought-after free agent this year on the open market.
I think he wants to stay in Houston.
They have him. They have Tucker to try and sign. 1-2. Swing and a bouncer foul, still 1 and 2. And they also have, the question of, do you bring back Justin Verlander, who doesn't look like he'll lock in his vesting option, which he had to pitch a certain number of innings, so he could be a free agent. One ball, 2 strikes. Bregman just fouled off a curveball below the zone. Here's the next pitch. Just missed downstairs with a changeup. Bregman bent his knee but did not swing. 2-2.
And I think the interesting thing about Bregman is he hasn't been great over the last 3 or 4 years, but he's been pretty consistent. And the Houston Astros, I guess, have to ask themselves, do they want that guy back?
2-2 is bounced in front of the plate, full count. You go back to 2018 and 2019. He's an all-star both years. He's top 5 in MVP voting both years. In 19, he finished second to Mike Trout in MVP voting and won the Silver Slugger at third. 3-2. Foul tipped into the glove, strike 3. He went back to the changeup, and actually the slider gets Bregman. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Kikuchi to start his outing.
Yeah, I know it's early on, but Yusei Kikuchi is pitching a lot like the guy early on in this season, throwing his fastballs for strikes and then mixing in that breaking ball late.
Now he gets his lone left-on-left matchup of the day. 4 lefty hitters on the bench, but Yordan Alvarez is in the lineup. First pitch to Alvarez, hit on the ground to second base, and they say it went off the foot of Alvarez, or did it? They're calling him out. Alvarez never ran. He is up the third baseline right now, and there's some confusion. At first base, Ben May called him out. Horwitz picking up the ball and throwing it to first, but Alvarez is acting like it hit him in the foot. The call is that it didn't, though, and he will walk off the field, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. A good start for Kikuchi. A scoreless top of the first. George Springer leads off against Ronel Blanco next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
IKF slams the ball down the left field line, way back and gone.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the first inning brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. No score, Blue Jays and Astros, bottom of the first. Thanks so much for tuning in today. George Springer leading off for Toronto. The pitch from Ronel Blanco. High, or no, called strike one, pardon me. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blanco, the righty, making his 16th start, the 0-1. Low and away. It's been an impressive season for Blanco, really his first time as a regular starter. He's 8-3 with a 2.5 earned run average. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Springer unloads on that fastball, but missed it to make it 1-2. Springer batting .215, hit his 9th homer of the year yesterday. 1-2. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For George Springer, it's the first time he's hitting a leadoff since May 17th. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a chopper, foul off to the left.
The thing that makes Ronel Blanco so good is everything looks like a fastball. The changeup looks like a fastball. The little slider that he has looks like a fastball. Then, of course, he has that mid-90s fastball that's so effective.
Just skipped the changeup to the plate to make it a full count. Blanco has a four-seamer, a slider, a change, and a very occasional curve. And if you didn't know already, he no-hit the Blue Jays on April 1st, his first start of the season. Wasn't even supposed to open in the rotation, but injuries to Urquidy and Verlander put him in there. 3-2 pitch, again bounced foul. That was another change. And one thing John Schneider said today was that first time around, they didn't know a ton about him. He hadn't pitched in the majors much, and he threw a lot more changeups than they were expecting. They're a little bit more ready for him today. 3-2 is a fastball, low ball 4. Springer takes a leadoff walk.
And he just had an 8-pitch at bat. Ronel Blanco hasn't gotten a guy out yet. That's what you want in a leadoff hitter right there. Obviously, George Springer is seeing the ball very well right now.
Another guy who's seeing the ball pretty well, Spencer Horwitz, the .306 batter in 21 games who hit his 3rd home run of the season yesterday and his first at Rogers Center. Runner on first, nobody out, no score, the pitch. Inside, ball 1. And obviously the Blue Jays didn't see Blanco pitch much with runners on last time they faced him because he no-hit Toronto. Springer leading off first, the 1-0 is downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. If you go back to that Blanco start, it was only Springer who reached base that day. He had walked twice in the no-hitter, and no one else got on. 2-0. Swing and a pop-up, very high, foul down the first baseline, called for by Greg Kessinger, and he makes the catch for the first out.
That was a tough pitch right there. A fastball right on the inside part of the plate, right in on the hands of Horwitz. He just got tied up. That's a big first out for Blanco.
So 1 out now, George Springer on first and drawing in the dirt just beside the box. The all-star starter in the American League at first base, just named Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Blanco peeks at first and the pitch. Swing and a fly ball, right field line, curling over toward foul territory. Long run, McCormick dives and it gets down. It's a foul ball. Vladdy was pointing to the left like it's fair, but they call it foul. McCormick too slow to get up. He dove right near that retaining wall, and I think he banged up his right knee. He is walking with some noticeable difficulty over to pick that ball up. Still doesn't look okay. And Joe Espada is out of the dugout right now. Looks like McCormick is going to be fine and not checked on. But he went slamming into the retaining wall.
Yeah, that was definitely an awkward fall. Hit his head against that short wall out there, hit his knee. I'm sure his body's not going to be feeling great tomorrow morning.
It was a foul ball for sure, though, despite the point of Guerrero toward fair. So it's 0-1, still a runner on first. 1 out, no score, bottom 1. Right on right, the pitch. Hit foul off to the right, 0-2. Announced just minutes ago that Guerrero beat out Ryan Mountcastle for that first base starting spot, and the numbers kind of speak for themselves. A .298 hitter this year, 18 doubles, 13 homers, 50 RBIs. 0-2. Down and away, ball 1. So Vlad has made it in 4 straight seasons now to the All-Star game. No All-Star game in 2020, and he didn't play the whole year in 19 when he first came up. Turn and throw over to first. Springer dives back in safe. You got to keep an eye on George Springer. He's 9 for 9 stealing bases this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if George Springer tries to steal a bag during this at-bat.
Held on by Greg Kessinger at first, a right-handed first baseman. Springer takes an extra step, and the 1-2. Just upstairs. That is a gutsy take by Guerrero, but he lays off, and it's 2-2.
I mean, we have the benefit of that strike box, but Yainer Diaz did a great job framing that pitch, making it look a lot lower than it actually was.
Blanco sets at the belt, looks at first, the 2-2. Swing and a bouncer through the right side into right field, a base hit. Springer around second. He wants third. Throw from McCormick is late. A head first dive by George Springer into third. Guerrero weaving his finger around back at the dugout. He wants them to keep it going. His single has made it first and third, 1 out.
And that's such a good piece of hitting. There was a gigantic hole on the right side of that infield. Jose Altuve was shaded towards second. Greg Kessinger was holding on Springer at first, but that's such a good 2-strike approach right there, taking that pitch on the outside part of the plate and just finding that hole, hitting it through that hole, and now the Blue Jays have runners on first and third and only 1 out.
Take a snapshot right now. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. after that hit is a .300 batter. Last time he ended a game hitting .300 or more was May 26th. So runners on the corners, no score, bottom of the first inning, and with 1 out, here comes Bo Bichette. With Springer going up to the leadoff spot, Bichette today hits cleanup. No Justin Turner in the lineup. We'll have more on that in the 5th. So Bichette with a chance to drive in a run, maybe more. Blanco from the stretch, the pitch. Outside, ball 1. And hey, they have a hit against Ronel Blanco in the first inning. No pitcher has ever no-hit the same team twice in a year. That continues here. 1-0. Swing and a fly ball deep center field. Myers going back at the track, makes the catch. Springer will tag from third. He'll jog home. Hits a long, loud sacrifice fly for Bo Bichette and a 1-0 Blue Jay lead.
Well, I thought Bo Bichette got that. He kind of held his finish and walked a couple steps to first base. It looked like he got enough of it to get it out of center field, but not quite. Probably about 3 or 4 feet from that center field wall.
Does go down as the 29th RBI of the season for Bichette. Blue Jays take a first inning lead for the second straight game. Here's the pitch to Dalton Varsho. High, ball 1. 2 outs, 1-0 Toronto. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on first. Right on left, the pitch. Hooked on the ground, foul, first base side. 1-1. Dalton Varsho's in center field today, batting .195 on the season, 11 homers and 35 RBIs. One. Called to strike. That's tough for Varsho. That pitch looked high, but he takes it, and it's called strike 2 to make the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infield shifted to the pull against the lefty hitter. Shortstop Jeremy Pena up the middle. Outfield straight away. The kick and the pitch. Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, you can really see where they're trying to pitch Varsho. Yainer Diaz is up and in with that target And Blanco's thrown a few fastballs up and in. That's a tough pitch that Dalton Varsho has really struggled with this season.
The 2-2. Swing and a looper foul just over the netting and caught on the fly by a fan in a gray jersey behind the third base dugout. "23 pitches in this inning for the righty Blanco. He's set at the belt. A look at Guerrero at first, and the 2-2. Foul back into the screen. Ronel Blanco, a 2016 signing by the Astros for just $5,000 at 22 years old. That's 6 years older than most guys would sign at. Righty's 2-2 again. Called strike 3. Freezes him right there with a changeup. Varsho goes down to end the inning. But the Blue Jays get on the board. A walk from Springer, a hit from Guerrero, and a sacrifice fly from Bichette. And it's 1-0 Blue Jays after 1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, it's Billy Joel here. It's back. All my music on my very own channel, the Billy Joel Channel.
Because you had to be a big shot.
His songs, his stories. There were these two Italian guys that owned this recording studio. Wow, they had a piano, they had microphones, and I was really impressed. I wanted to know what everything was. What does that do? What does that do? What does that do?
The Billy Joel Channel, happening now for a limited time. Sirius XM Channel 79 and the Sirius XM app.
The final major championship of 2024 is coming, and you can hear all the action on SiriusXM.
Up toward the hole, has a chance, and it goes! Rory McIlroy with an overhand fist bump!
Coverage of the 152nd Open Championship begins Monday, July 15th, with play-by-play beginning Thursday, July 18th on Open Radio.
He's holding the big one! Brian Harman is the champion golfer of the year!
Hear the 2024 Open Championship on Channel 92 when you're in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Nobody covers the National Football League like SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Mahomes fires it late for the end zone. Caught! Touchdown!
Stay updated with the latest news leading up to training camps.
We don't care about expectations. Talk doesn't win games.
Our panel of experts is getting you ready for the 2024 season.
The more I watch this guy, the more I like him.
There's a story for every team on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on Sirius XM
Network.
Second inning at Rogers Center, 1-0. The Blue Jays lead the Houston Astros in Game 3 of this 4-game set. Yusei Kikuchi kicks and fires. First pitch strike on Yainer Diaz, 0-1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. They just showed Rogers Center that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is an all-stars starter. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And a pretty big applause here from the Toronto faithful.
Well, let's not forget Vlad hit .219 in April with just 2 homers.
And now he's hitting 300 with 13.
That's impressive.
On pace to hit around 100 RBIs. 0-2. Swinging a line drive, hooking toward the left field corner. That's down and rocketing into the wall. Diaz around first. He will stop at second with a leadoff double, his 14th double of the season.
That pitch is just too good, especially in an 0-2 count. That was a slider, I believe, that was supposed to be back foot. You could see Brian Servin setting up inside, and Diaz just goes down and gets it. That pitch has to be in the dirt.
Yeah, it was low of the zone, but it was still over the plate. It wasn't in off the plate, and like you said, it wasn't in the dirt either. So a leadoff double, 1-0 Blue Jays. The pitch to Jake Myers. Fouled back, 0-1.
And we talked about that before the game. He's given up 13 earned runs in his last 3 starts, but he's only walked 2 guys. That means he's giving the opposing team too many good pitches, and that was just an example right there.
A look back at second at Diaz, and the pitch. Hit foul. That'll make it no balls and 2 strikes. Myers will ask for time and step out of the box. Center fielder throws left but hits right. A .251 batter, 8 homers, 33 RBIs. Peek at second. Kikuchi with one more look and the 0-2. Swing and a foul off to the right. We're in the second inning, which is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. New baseball for Kikuchi. Lefty tugs on the brim of his cap with his glove and now comes set at the belt. The 0-2. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kikuchi with 2 strikeouts and a ground out in the first. We got a second look at that weird Yordan Alvarez ground out. He didn't hit it off himself. 1-2 pitch skip to the plate, 2-2. Although he was hunched over like he might have struck himself with a foul ball, he must have rolled an ankle or twisted something there. He's the DH, so we'll see if he hits his next turn around.
And some guys are just embarrassed that they hit the ball as weakly as they did.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't think he's doing it.
I don't know.
Embarrassed? The guy's hit 2 5-million-foot homers in this series. He can ground out once. 2-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3.
But I think, and I'm not taking anything away from him if he actually hurt himself there, but to me, it's kind of like when a guy makes a bad pitch, he looks at his hand, or a guy misplays a ground ball, he looks at his glove, something like that. I could be completely wrong, but that's the only reason why I said that.
I doubt it, but it's possible. It's possible. 1 out, runner on second. Here's Jeremy Pena, the shortstop for the Astros. A look at second, Kikuchi's pitch. Foul tipped into the glove, strike 1. He's got the good fastball today at 97, and that one was right at the top of the zone.
Yeah, you could see Jeremy Pena staring out at Yusei Kikuchi, nodding his head. He knows he has that good fastball today.
Third start in a row in this series for Pena. Had a double, a hit by pitch, and a run scored yesterday. 0-1 is in the dirt. On the season, the right-handed hitter bats .278, 15 doubles, and 6 homers. Pena, a third rounder, played at Maine, drafted in 2018 by the Astros.
What do you think baseball is like in late February at the University of Maine?
I think you're on the road. I think you're definitely on the road. 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Pena, born in Santo Domingo, but grew up in Rhode Island. Dad, Geronimo Pena, played as a second baseman for the Cardinals in the early 90s. 2-1 pitch. Hit on the ground to third, fielded there by Clement. He'll throw over to first. Runner doesn't go anywhere at second, Diaz, and there are 2 down.
Normally you'll see the third baseman look back the runner at second, but I don't think Ernie Clement even looked Yainer Diaz back. I'm assuming that he knows that Yainer Diaz isn't a great runner and probably isn't going anyways.
Perhaps relying too on Bichette or others to communicate to him if he needed. But he gets the safe out, and here's Mauricio Dubon now with the runner on second, 2 down. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. Dubon, a .289 hitter, 3 homers, 29 RBIs. Trying to prevent the Astros from wasting the leadoff double by Yainer Diaz. Diaz still on second. Kikuchi peeking at him. 1-0 pitch. High, 2 balls, no strikes. Dubon's open in his stance. Waggles his bat above his head. Here's the 2-0. Fastball right on the outside edge. Kind of like Pena, Dubon also born abroad but grew up in the U.S., born in Honduras but moved to Sacramento as a teenager. The 2-1. Foul back into the screen, a fastball right at the top of the zone, 2-2. Dubon, though, not drafted nearly as high as Jeremy Pena. He was a 26th rounder by the Red Sox in 2013 out of high school. If you go back and look at that 26th round in 2013, everyone who was drafted that round and did sign didn't make the majors, except for Dubon. Cal Quantrill was drafted that round but didn't sign. A few other guys didn't sign, but he's the only one that's made it that actually signed.
Cal Quantrill was a 26th rounder.
Out of high school.
No. I know he was a first rounder out of Stanford, but that's pretty impressive.
2-2. Fouled off to the right. It could have been, I mean, you've seen this, one of those situations where they kind of know he's going to go to college, one of these guys, but you take a flyer. Blue Jays did that with Rowdy Tellez years ago and actually convinced him to play in the majors as a 30th rounder. You'll see it from time to time. 2-2 again. Bounce to the plate, 3-2.
And I think you see it more often now because each team has an allotment of dollars. They can spend as much as they want on a 20th rounder. Or sorry, there's no 20th round anymore.
Well, no, that's the last round.
Oh, so 20th is the last round. They can spend as much as they want on a 20th rounder. They can spend as much as they want on a third rounder, but they just have that allotment of money that Major League Baseball has given them.
Yeah, so if you were to spend less than the expected amount on your early round picks, hey, you might have some money left over. Maybe you take a flyer and say to a kid, you want to go to college or do you want $500,000? And you see what happens. Dubon, though, has fought through the adversity of being a 26th rounder. 3-2 pitch, fouled off to the right.
And interestingly enough, a lot of teams will draft a certain player in the first round because they know they can get him for less, and that means they have more money to spend on their second rounder, their third rounder, their fourth rounder, and so on.
There is no draft even close to as complicated as the Major League Baseball draft. 3-2. Check swing, pitch down and in. Appeal to first. He went around, says Ben May. That's an inning-ending strikeout for Yusei Kikuchi. Dubon shaking his head. He does not like it. For Kikuchi, it's another 2 strikeouts. Dubon slams his helmet into the ground, and we will go to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck. The movers who care.
So, you want to be a loony dogger, eh? Are you the relish ringleader, 7th inning snacker, TikTok topper, or ketchup king? Every Tuesday, Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. You'll have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Then show the world your Looney Dog style. Because whether you're the home run hound or value virtuoso, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. So don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Hey, this is Danny Jansen. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This Sunday, July 7th, 10 Blue Jays fans will be evenly splitting over $1.4 million, and you could be one of the lucky winners. Jays Care is giving you a little extra time to join in on the fun, as this jackpot will end while the Blue Jays are on the road in Seattle. Visit BlueJays.com/5050 to get your tickets from Ontario or Nova Scotia. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Blue Jays over Astros. Ronel Blanco pitches to Davis Schneider. First pitch is in there, called strike one.
And just to clarify, because I had to ask, that money is tax-free.
It is. It is tax-free. 0-1. Outside. And, I mean, right now you'd get $143,000, a little more than that. And there's still 4 more days for people to buy in. 1-1. Down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Imagine just somebody handing you a check for $143,000 in change for no reason.
I have to imagine, because that's the only time I'll ever see that. 2-1 pitch. He went around, very emphatic there from home plate up Dan Iasonia on that changeup low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Schneider hitting .214, 15 doubles, 10 homers. 2-2. Down and away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The righty Blanco takes a breath, steps to the left, and the 3-2. Swing and a pop-up right side of the diamond. Calling for it, the first baseman Kessinger on the turf. He makes a one-handed catch, 1 out.
What would be the first thing you did if somebody handed you a check for $143,000?
I go buy a lot of food. I'd celebrate with a lot of food.
That's a good answer. Safe answer.
Because you gotta, you're gonna save a lot of it, but you gotta celebrate a little bit.
Don't go buy a car.
No. Yeah. First pitch to Ernie Clement. Called strike 1, 1 out, bases empty. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Blue Jays. Clement's a .268 hitter, 10 doubles, 4 homers. Swings at the next pitch and hits it softly on the ground to short. Picked up by Pena, throw to first in time, 2 outs. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Collect air miles on your next home improvement buys at Timbermart. And hey, make it a double play by scoring even more air miles when you purchase with your Timbermart credit card. For details, visit Timbermart, Canada's building center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Addison Barger hitting for the Blue Jays with 2 outs. Ronel Blanco on the mound for the Astros. It's 1-0 Toronto. The pitch. Slow breaking ball, misses high, looked pretty good, but they call it a ball, 1-0.
That was that rare curveball that he really only throws 5% of the time. Didn't really do much.
1-0. High and outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Starters have been giving Barger a lot of breaking pitches in his young career. Playing in his 18th Major League game, he swings and fouls off a slider. It's 2-1. Barger hitting .170, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. Came up with a double and an RBI yesterday, went 1 for 3. Next pitch. Fouled off the glove of the catcher Diaz. It's 2-2.
This is going to be a tough matchup for Addison Barger. Ronel Blanco is such a good pitcher, knows exactly what he's throwing. He has command of all 4 of his pitches. Hard in, soft away. I imagine that's how they're going to attack Addison Barger.
2-2. Trying to go outside there with, I believe, a changeup, but it floated way high and outside. It was a change, and it's full count. Brian Servin waiting on deck. Barger will ask for time, adjust his deep blue batting gloves. They match the blue that shines off of that dark City Connect uniform. 3-2. Swing and a foul back into the netting.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ronel Blanco throws a changeup right here. He just threw that good fastball right down the middle.
3-2. Swing and a fly ball, shallow left field. Dubon coming in, is under it, and makes the catch to end the inning. Blanco sets down the Blue Jays in order and sends us to the third. It's 1-0 Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. On Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Sundays are for Junior Jays. Get to the ballpark early to enjoy outdoor activities before continuing the fun inside while you cheer on the Blue Jays.
If you're feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
IKF flips to Schneider, one sidearm to first, double play.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center, downtown Toronto. The Blue Jays leading the Houston Astros 1-0. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Yusei Kikuchi's pitch is taken high by Chas McCormick. 1 ball and no strikes. Sun is peeking out a little bit from the clouds. Just past the left field corner. A little bit warmer now than first pitch. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. I mean, the thermometer isn't saying it's warmer, but it feels warmer at least.
Well, you're wearing a jacket right now. I'm in short sleeves.
Pull over. 1-1. In the dirt, 2-1.
Would you call that a fall jacket?
Yeah.
It says it's 29 degrees, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels probably like 23, maybe 24.
It's always a bit colder up here too. Elevated, got kind of a little bit of a wind stream goes through here. 2-1 pitch. Fastball at the knees, right on the inside edge, 2-2. McCormick, Greg Kessinger, and Jose Altuve hitting this inning for Houston. McCormick bats .213 this year. Swings at the 2-2 and hits it foul over the screen off to the right. Righty hitters only played 47 games this season due to injury. 5 doubles, 3 homers. It's coming off a career year, but things have not been as smooth this season. 2-2. Swing and a line shot on one hop into left center field for a base hit. Second inning in a row that the Astros come up with a leadoff hit. It's a single here for McCormick to start the third.
And Yusei just missed his spot a little bit. He throws that fastball right down the middle. It was a good fastball at 96 miles an hour, but Brian Serven was set up on the inside part of the plate. And again, an example of Yusei just missing his spot, leaving a pitch right over the middle of the plate. And McCormick drilled that thing into center field.
So Kikuchi will try to work through some trouble again. Here's Greg Kessinger. First pitch cut on and missed, strike one. Kessinger is just playing in his 12th major league game this season, looking for his first hit. 0 for 11. Second year getting games in the majors. 0-1. Went around on a breaking ball in the dirt. Nice sliding block by Serven right near the back ankle of the right-handed hitter. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that's where he wanted that pitch. That back foot slider bounced just a little bit. An easy block for Serven, but I wouldn't be surprised if he throws that pitch again.
Runner on first is McCormick. Nobody out. 2 strikes on the batter Kessinger and the pitch. Bounced it again. He did go back to the breaking ball, but this one skipped in front of the plate. So Kessinger laid off.
And I like that they threw that pitch right down the middle, but below the strike zone. It looks like a hittable pitch out of the hand. Looks like a strike out of the hand, and then just dips below that strike zone.
Kikuchi looks out at first and will step and throw over there. It was a pretty big lead by McCormick, who got back in standing. Bearded lefty Kikuchi looks out toward home plate. A peek at first, the kick and the pitch. Swing and a fly ball, shallow right field. Addison Barger, moving in, makes the catch. And there's one out.
He looked pretty comfortable out there. Nice easy catch for him.
Right field, he's actually played a good handful. Left field is the position that's newer to Barger, but he's split time mostly between third and right over the last while at AAA.
And left field is a harder position because of the top spin that you get from lefties and then righties pulling the baseball.
Here's Jose Altuve, one out, runner on first. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the third. The pitch. Called strike one. We're in the third inning, which is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Gatineau and Saint-Marie, Quebec. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com, Canada's #1 rust protection. 307 hitter Altuve struck out in the first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Just outside. $17 doubles on the year for Altuve. He is just Mr. Consistent in this lineup, has 13 home runs as well. 1-1. Is hit in the air, foul. Very high and deep into the seats, 1-2.
You just never know what he's going to get the barrel to. I feel like he should have hit that slider right there, but for whatever reason, he was way out in front, fouls it back. I think the safest pitch right here would be either bounce a breaking ball or a fastball up above the strike zone.
Kikuchi sets. Looking at first, will throw over there. McCormick jogs back to the bag safely. Altuve had 3 hits yesterday, one of them on a Nate Pearson pitch way out of the zone. The 1-2. Swing and a foul back. They did go for the elevated fastball inside as well, and Altuve just tipped it behind him.
And I'm sure a lot of people that haven't really seen Jose Altuve hit all that much, they would probably say that hit was lucky against Nate Pearson, the one way off the plate, but it really wasn't. That's what he's trying to do there.
2,153 hits for Jose Altuve in his career, and just signed a new contract, so he might be around for a while still. He takes the 1-2 low, 2-2. Altuve this offseason signed a 5-year, $125 million extension that starts next year. He's still on the final year of his 5-year, $151 million deal that he signed in 2018. 2-2, low, 3-2.
When that deal ends, you'll be 39 years old.
But he's got to be, if you're thinking about, is there someone in the game right now, and maybe I'm forgetting someone, I apologize if I do. If you're looking at who's going to come up with 3,000 hits next, he's got a shot. 2,100 right now. He needs to put together some good years. 3-2. Called strike 3. Fastball on the outside edge. Altuve walks back to the dugout. 2 down.
And that was nasty right there. 97 at the bottom, and at that bottom corner, I would say it's an unhittable pitch, but the one guy that could probably do damage on that pitch is Jose Altuve, and he just took it.
Perhaps looking for something softer. He just crouched down and accepted his fate right after the pitch landed. Here's the first offering to Alex Bregman. Just outside, ball 1. 5 strikeouts for Yusei Kikuchi in 10 batters faced. He's given up 2 hits, including the leadoff single this inning to Chas McCormick, who's still on first. Guerrero holding him on. Rest of the infield way over to the left against the righty hitter. 1-0 to Bregman. Bounce to the plate. Nice block by Servin. 2 balls, no strikes.
Did you notice what Dan Iasonia did on that first pitch ball? He brought his right hand up like he was about to call a strike and then changed his mind. And then everybody started barking at him. He said, no, sorry, I made a mistake.
I mean, the right call was ball.
I'm surprised you didn't catch that because you love that kind of stuff.
Hey, if you make the right call, you make the right call. 2-0. Low ball 3. Iasonia is one of the more experienced umpires in the game at this point. 3 balls and no strikes to Alex Bregman with Yordan Alvarez on deck. Kikuchi's going to step off. In a moment, we'll go to the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in '92. Join them for wings, ribs, beer, cocktails, and catch every play at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. A strike there called against Bregman. All the All-Star starters have been announced in the American League, not just Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but 2 other guys in this game will start in the All-Star game for the American League. Jose Altuve and Yordan Alvarez. 3-1 pitch, outside, ball 4. Bregman with a walk, McCormick up to second, and here comes the American League All-Star starter at designated hitter, Yordan Alvarez.
Any surprises for you in either of the starting
I'll
lineups?
read through it. I don't think so, really. It's Rutschman catching, Guerrero at first, Jose Altuve at second, Jose Ramirez at third, Gunnar Henderson at short, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Stephen Kwan in the outfield, Yordan Alvarez at DH. It's tough that Bobby Witt Jr. doesn't make it, but between Witt and Henderson, it was an impossible choice at short. So I don't think anyone in there is a crazy pick at all. Here's the first pitch to Alvarez. Outside, ball 1. What about you?
Yeah, I think that the American League, in my opinion, was a little bit easier to call than the National League. I mean, all those guys are deserving of that starting lineup, especially Vlad. I'm not biased, though.
Here's the 1-0. Swinging a foul tip into the glove, 1-1. I think it would have been, this is the pros and cons of fan voting. If Vlad had gone up against Josh Naylor in that finale, I think there's a little bit more competition. But the numbers, Vlad to Mountcastle, he was better than him offensively in almost every metric. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's an easy choice. Just looking at the numbers, unless you're an Orioles fan. Of course, there's a lot of Orioles fans that are voting Mountcastle, but if you're just looking at the numbers, Vlad clearly deserved it.
First and second, the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball freezes Alvarez, dropped a curve on the outside edge, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the third. Alvarez has hurt Toronto with a pair of home runs in this series, including a 3-run shot yesterday. Kikuchi's going to step off. It's the first time since early April 7th and 8th at Texas, that Yordan Alvarez has homered in back-to-back games. 2-2. Swing and a liner left center field. Varsho on the run. It's past him and bouncing into the wall. Around third, McCormick scores easily. They give the stop sign to Bregman at third. It's a tie game on an RBI double by Yordan Alvarez. 1-1, top of the third inning.
I mean, Yordan Alvarez is just so good. You can second guess that pitch all you want, but that's the pitch that I would have thrown. A good fastball, 97 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate. That's not a bad pitch. That was actually 99 miles an hour. Yordan just drops that barrel and hits it into the gap in left center.
Team leading 20th double on the season for Alvarez, and now increases his team leading RBI total to 47. They're going to go out to the mound as Pete Walker right now talking to Yusei Kikuchi, who is up to 60 pitches already here with 2 outs in the top of the third.
I mean, he looks good. That last fastball, like we said, 99 miles an hour. He looks strong. He's making good pitches. And even that last pitch was not a bad pitch. Unfortunately, he just comes up against a guy that is swinging a hot bat.
Mound meeting over. By the way, on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard, the Yankees lost to the Reds yesterday. They're trailing early on today to the Reds. 2-0 is the score in favor of Cincinnati. Noelvi Marte, who started the year with a performance-enhancing drug suspension, has just hit his first home run of the season, a 2-run shot. Second and third, 2 outs, and the first pitch to Yainer Diaz, way high and outside. 1-0. 1-1 game, top of the third. So it's 2-0 Reds, by the way, over Yankees, bottom of the third in New York. 2-1, the Red Sox lead the Marlins in the 5th inning in Miami. 1-0 pitch to Diaz. Fouled back into the screen, 1-1. Tampa Bay and Kansas City getting underway at Kauffman Stadium. Yesterday, it was the Rays who beat the Royals. All of our out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Kikuchi trying to keep it at 1-1 in Toronto. His 1-1 pitch. Diaz takes outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And keep in mind, you do have that open base at first base, and Jake Myers coming up next. So you don't want to throw something down the middle that Yainer Diaz can really drive.
Diaz doubled in his first at-bat. Kikuchi struck out Myers in his first at-bat. The kick and the pitch. High and outside, ball 3. Some big arm side misses, though, for Kikuchi, which could be a little bit alarming.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's really getting on top of that changeup. That pitch right there, he kind of threw it like a pizza, like he was delivering a pizza.
I like that. Step off from Kikuchi. It's been a long inning. He's faced 6 batters in the frame, giving up 2 hits and a walk and 1 run. The 3-1. Swing and a foul ball. Good fastball at the top of the plate, or top of the zone rather, middle of the plate. It's nothing. It's 3-2. Catcher Diaz steps back in, batting from the right side. Bright orange batting gloves and an orange arm sleeve on his right arm. 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Missed just off the plate inside, but really missed the spot, so Servin had to jab at it. And Diaz will head down to first. Bases are now loaded for the Astros with 2 outs.
Really good velocity on that fastball, 98, but nowhere near the location that he needed with that pitch. You could see Brian Servin jumping almost across the plate to catch that baseball. But like we said, open base at first base, not a bad walk right there.
Bases are loaded now. 1-1, top of the 3rd. Pitch to Jake Myers is hit in the air, center field. Varsho racing back at the wall. He's got space, and he makes the catch to end the inning. The Astros tie it up. A run on 2 hits. Alvarez's RBI double makes it 1-1. They do leave the bases loaded, though, and we will go to the bottom of the 3rd. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
My name is Craig Biggio, and my road to Cooperstown was one that was full with a lot of ups and downs.
This is John Paul Morosi. Coming up on the next episode of The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Craig Biggio.
Catcher to second and center. Nobody's ever played all 3 in a full season. I did everything that the team ever asked me to do, so I take a lot of pride in that.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription? What? Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, original specials, and much, much, much more. All baseball, every day, on your radio. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
1-1 ball game as we start the bottom of the 3rd inning in downtown Toronto. Welcome back to Rogers Center, and welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Roger Lajoie is our host today. Nick Blackmore, our producer. Luke Swadron and Tom Young, our technical directors. Brian Servin will bat first in this inning for the Blue Jays. George Springer and Spencer Horwitz batting after him against the righty Ronel Blanco. Blanco, the Dominican right-hander, really settled down in the second inning after giving up a run in the first, retired the Blue Jays in order. Righty faces the plate, gets into the wind, and his pitch. Fastball on the inside edge, strike one. First Major League action for Brian Serven since April 13th, 0 for 8 to start this season. 0-1. Started to swing, but holds back. It's a fastball for strike two. Serven asks for time. Stretches his arms above his head. He's got black batting gloves and a black bat to match the dark jersey.
He's actually having a decent year in AAA. 270, 3 homers, 14 RBIs, and 115 at-bats.
0-2 pitches outside, 1-2. A 787 on base plus slugging. Told me that it's been a good year for him so far, he thinks. 1-2. Swing and a fly ball off to the right and into the seats. Still 1-2.
And his on-base percentage is almost 400 at 396.
That'll play.
It's a guy that takes some pitches.
The wind and the 1-2. Fouled off again to the right. Doing a good job of staying alive here. Went down 0-2, but has now seen 5 pitches so far in this plate appearance. That has the righty Blanco at 45 pitches on the day. No outs, bottom 3. The 1-2 again is hit on the ground at the shortstop. Pena, 2022 Gold Glover, throws over to first. And there's one out. So that brings up George Springer, who walked to start this game and came in to score. He's responsible for the one Blue Jay run in this 1-1 game. Blanco winds the pitch. Check swing, pitch down and away, appeal down to first, no swing. It's 1-0.
Alex Bregman is playing way back. This would be a perfect time to just drop down a bunt here.
Although he knows Springer well, not much of a bunter. He swings at the next pitch and bounces it back. Caught by Horwitz off the hop in the on-deck circle, 1-1.
Not much of a bunter, but it is a lost art. If someone can drop a bunt right here, they'll just steal a base hit a lot of the time.
1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Springer was really a big part of the evolution to the non-prototypical leadoff hitter, leading off for Houston for so many years as a power guy. 2-1 pitch hit foul to the right, 2-2. Second all-time in leadoff home runs, trailing only the greatest leadoff hitter in the history of the game, Rickey Henderson. 2-2. Inside, almost hit him. Springer brings that front left elbow out of the way. It's now a full count. Although he's not prototypical all the time, this is one thing he does that you've always in baseball wanted your leadoff hitter to do. He's going to make the pitcher work. Second straight full count he's seen. 3-2 pitch. And he'll take it upstairs for a second straight walk.
And Ronel Blanco just threw his 52nd pitch, and he's only thrown 2 1/3 innings.
It's not looking early on like either starter is going to go incredibly deep in this game. Kikuchi finished the third on 67 pitches, and like you said, Blanco over 50 here with only 1 out. Spencer Horwitz to the plate, 0 for 1, popped out to first base in the first. The pitch. On the inside edge, that rare curve for strike one. From the stretch, Blanco looks in, kicks, fires. Swinging a fly ball down the left field line, slicing and into the stands. It's 0-2.
And if there's one guy in this lineup that can stay on that good changeup from Blanco, it's Spencer Horwitz. He was right on that thing, maybe a hair out in front, but he just fouled it into the stands.
Horwitz asks for time right before Blanco was about to go into his motion, steps out of the box. Rather than the Serven look where he goes for the black batting gloves, Horwitz has contrasted the dark jersey with white cleats and white batting gloves. 0-2, high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. "22nd game of the year for Horwitz, his 18th start. One-two pitch. Called strike 3. Just clips the outside edge with a changeup, does Blanco. Horwitz doesn't think so, but it did look like it hit the strike box. That's the second out.
Yeah, Horwitz didn't love that call. Kind of stood in the batter's box for a couple of seconds, shaking his head, slowly walking back to the dugout. But from our view, that looked like a strike, a good pitch.
So now 2 down, still a runner on first. 1-1, bottom of the third. The pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Swing and a slow bouncer foul down the third baseline. 0-1. Next pitch. Line by Vlad to the shortstop, Pena, who makes the catch off to his left and ends the inning. The Blue Jays come up with a walk, but Springer is stranded on first, and after 3 innings, it's 1-1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by our local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
With 2024 training camps around the corner, SiriusXM NFL Radio looks back at the best moments from last season.
To Brandon Ayuk, it's the flip. Oh, he caught it! Caught!
The spectacular efforts, the game-winning plays, and the reaction from the voices that called the action.
How about that crazy play?
NFL Radio's top plays of 2023 debuts tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM NFL Radio, Channel 88.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball. You love yelling at your buddies about baseball because they love baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, and much, much, much more. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
That Radio Network.
It's the 4th inning presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 1-1 game. Yusei Kikuchi's first pitch is hit in the air to center by Jeremy Pena. Barely moving from his starting position, Dalton Varsho makes the catch. 1 out. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, Roger Lajoie, our host, Nick Blackmore, producer, Luke Swadron, and Tom Young, our technical directors. Mauricio Dubon is up now, the left fielder today for the Astros. Dubon didn't start yesterday, didn't play. Day before that started at second base. The pitch. High and outside, ball 1. Right-handed hitter looks out at Kikuchi. Corners are pinched in case Dubon tries to bunt. 1-0. Down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Doesn't get a whole lot more versatile than Mauricio Dubon, who has started at 7 different positions this season. 2-0. Called strike. He started at every position but pitcher and catcher for the Astros this year, becoming the first Astro to ever start at 7 different positions in one season. 2-1 pitches, cut on and missed, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Hit in the air, right field. Barger moving in, now moves to his left and makes the catch. 2 outs.
And this is the inning that Yusei needed in this start. He's thrown 6 pitches so far in this inning. 5 pitches?
6 pitches.
6 pitches.
You're right on it. Came into the frame with 67 pitches thrown. At 73 here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. 1-1 score, Blue Jays and Astros. Chas McCormick up, who singled and scored last inning. First pitch breaking ball, outside, 1-0. McCormick pinwheels the bat 3 times, brings it above his right shoulder. 1-0 pitch. Just off the plate away with the fastball. Might have been a strike. Kikuchi certainly thought it was. It's 2-0.
Kikuchi actually motioning to Dan Iasonia behind home plate with his hand. Where was that? Was that outside? You really don't see that from him that often.
Lefty's pitch. Swing and a fly ball to right. Very high, not super deep. Barger moves toward the corner, now ranges back to his right, and makes the catch to end the inning. 3 flyouts, a quick top of the 4th for Kikuchi as he sets down the Astros in order. 1-1 game, middle of the 4th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
Hey, this is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bo Bichette leading off for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the 4th inning in Toronto. It's 1-1 Blue Jays and Astros. Ronel Blanco into the wind. Here's his pitch. Bichette takes strike 1. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Chris LaRue. Thank you so much for spending your Wednesday evening with us. Still a bright night here at Rogers Center. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Bichette fooled there by the curveball down and away. 0-2.
It is definitely getting nicer tonight.
Yeah.
Less chilly, more sun.
Clouds have parted as the game's gone on. 0-2. Foul tipped into the glove. Strike 3. A slider down and away gets Bo for the first out.
And the longer Ronel Blanco stays in this ball game, I feel like the more confident he's getting with his pitches. His slider's better, his changeup is better, even his fastball is ticked up a little bit with the velo.
He's retired 8 of the last 9 hitters. Actually, 9 of the last 9 because Bichette had a sac fly in the first. Here's the pitch to Dalton Varsho. Popped up foul into the seats third base side. 0-1. The only base runner that Blanco has given up since the first is the walk to Springer last inning. Varsho hooks a liner to right field. That's down in fair territory, a base hit. Varsho around first. He's into second with a 1-out double.
And right on cue, the Blue Jays get a base runner. Dalton Varsho ripped that baseball down the line in right field. And that's actually a pitch that he's had a lot of trouble with. A fastball up at the hands. He gets those hands through and drills that thing. Almost like he was cheating just a little bit with that pitch. I'll take it, though.
Varsho was really looking for that one. That's his first extra base hit since the 16th of June versus Cleveland here at Rogers Center. Runner on second, one out. The pitch to Davis Schneider. High, ball one. Schneider worked a full count in the second, but he popped up to first base for the first out of that inning. One 0. Called strike. Schneider with an underhanded golf-like swing now brings the bat above his right shoulder. 1-1. High, 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner on second, Blanco looking at him, the 2-1. Called strike, another breaking ball at the top of the zone, and it's 2-2.
Kind of buckled Davis Schneider's knees with that breaking ball there. Definitely didn't look like he was expecting that pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes, Blanco set at the belt. He reaches back, releases, and misses just outside. Full count, tough take by Schneider on the changeup.
Ronel Blanco didn't like that call. He kind of walked off to the side of the mound looking at the replay. It wasn't a strike. It was a good call by Dan Iasonia.
Payoff pitch. Bounce softly to short. Varsho has to hold up at second. Pena charging in gloves, throws on to first, and gets Schneider 2 outs.
Pena's really smooth over there.
Very smooth.
I didn't know that he was that much of a, or that smooth of a defender. He's really good over there.
Pena in 2022 won the Gold Glove at shortstop as a rookie. American League Gold Glove at shortstop has gone to rookies back-to-back seasons. He looked good on that play. Here's the pitch to Ernie Clement. Swing and a fly ball. Right center field. Racing back to second baseman Altuve makes an over-the-shoulder catch. That one nearly a blue pit, but instead a nice play from Altuve, and the 1-out double by Varsho is left on base. 1-1 game going to the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Tap into exclusive performances from the world-famous Tipitinas as the biggest names in R&B descend on New Orleans.
Y'all join me in welcoming Tyrese, ladies and gentlemen.
We're taking you to the Big Easy during Essence Festival.
They took this record #1 for me, so give it up for them.
All weekend long, starting Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, with Kenny Lattimore, Kevin Ross, and more, live in concert. On Heart and Soul, Channel 47, and on the SiriusXM app.
My name is Craig Biggio, and my road to Cooperstown was one that was full with a lot of ups and downs.
This is John Paul Morosi. Coming up on the next episode of The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Craig Biggio.
Catcher to second and center. Nobody's ever played all 3 in a full season. I did everything that the team ever asked me to do, so I take a lot of pride in that.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
If you love golf, then you should never turn off SiriusXM PGA Tour Radio. Our hosts have the best takes.
Tiger's impact on the game of golf, aside from how good he was at it, was something that I don't think we'll ever see again.
Talk to the biggest guests.
Scotty, you've had a year to celebrate.
This year, I've just seen a lot of good results.
And can even help you with your own game.
Take the club and at address, open it up.
It's all golf, all the time. On SiriusXM PGA Tour Radio, Channel 92 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Net Radio Network.
Top of the 5th inning, Yusei Kikuchi still on for the Blue Jays, facing Gray Kessinger of the Astros in a 1-1 game. Left on right, the pitch is fouled back into the netting. 0-1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. Kikuchi's been good, although the pitch count is up there. Last pitch was his 77th. 0-1. Down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
78 pitches now, and Zach Pop is warming up in that Blue Jays bullpen.
After Kessinger, it'll be third time through for the top of the order for the Astros. 1-1. Swing and a fly ball. Sends Varsho back a little bit, but still 10 feet in front of the track. He stops and squeezes it one down. The fifth inning is brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. Desjardins is a big fan of small biz. That's why they awarded another $3 million to small business owners across the country. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz this year at goodsparkgrants.ca. Top of the order, here's Jose Altuve, who's had a very un-Altuve-like day, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Adjusts his helmet and looks out at Kikuchi, the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
And again, an awkward swing, a late swing. It almost looked like Brian Servin caught that ball before Altuve was waving at it. An odd swing on an 0-0 pitch.
And a late swing on a curve of all pitches for Kikuchi, his softest pitch. 0-1. Fastball is poked out to right field. Barger on the run toward the foul line, gets under it, makes the catch. 2 down.
The only thing I can think of is why he was reacting to that pitch. Maybe he was trying to drive the ball the other way because Vlad was way off the line, off that first base line. And Spencer Horowitz was shaded up the middle as well. Maybe he could just see an easy base hit.
It's possible. Kikuchi gets him, though, on a ball hit to the opposite field. And now with 2 down, here's Alex Bregman. The pitch. Outside, ball 1.
But then again, I don't pretend to actually know what's going on in the head of Jose Altuve.
No one does. If they did, they'd all be hitting 300 too. Base is empty, 1-1 game, 1-0 pitch. Fastball on the outside black. Evens up the count at 1-1. Kikuchi entered the fourth inning with 67 pitches thrown, but he's actually been very efficient in the last 2 frames. Kicks and fires. It's just down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. He's potentially got himself in position here to at least get through 5. John Schneider, Pete Walker looking on from the first base dugout. And Kikuchi's 2-1. Hit off the handle, looping foul behind home plate into the seats, 2-2.
Would you rather see Zach Pop face Yordan Alvarez or Yusei Kikuchi? I know it's the left-on-left matchup, but Zach Pop does have that good sinker.
Probably Kikuchi still, honestly. 2-2 is hit on the ground at third on 2 hops, backhanded by Clement. Gets up, throws to first. It's a strike to Guerrero to end the inning. 5 frames for Kikuchi. He's only given up 1 run to the Astros. Blue Jays try to separate when we come back at the bottom of the 5th in this 1-1 game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Embrace the power.
That is bold. And speed of the NTT IndyCar Series on SiriusXM.
Joseph, you got it. Wins the Indy 500.
The season rolls on Sunday afternoon at 1 Eastern at the Honda Indy 200 at Mid-Ohio.
That was sweet.
Nice job, guys. From the green to the checkers.
Flies under the twin checkers.
Hear every thrilling lap live on IndyCar Nation Channel 218, NBC Sports Audio Channel 85.
Alex Palou. Thank you so much.
And on the all-new SiriusXM app. The most important person in sports is you, the fan.
Let me tell you something. I'm a real fan.
And your place for sports talk is Mad Dog Sports Radio, where your voice is heard all day long.
I couldn't wait to get into the truck, turn on 82.
Sharing the thrill of victory.
The joy, the jubilation. I can't stop smiling.
And the agony of defeat.
When is this franchise going to realize people really care about this?
Passionate sports fans call 888-MAD-DOG-6.
You gotta love sports.
Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, or anytime on the SiriusXM app.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody! This is Steve Phillips from the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio. Join me and former Major League Baseball players Eduardo Perez and Xavier Scruggs as we react to all the latest news and scores across baseball and have plenty of fun along the way.
Steve, you were so right about that.
I don't know if anybody else thinks we're funny, but I think we're funny.
Why are you putting us or we into this?
The leadoff spot, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Radio Network.
Addison Barger stepping into the box. Bottom of the fifth inning about to start at Rogers Center. 1-1 Blue Jays and Astros. Pitch from Ronel Blanco. Outside 1-0. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Tell you about some out-of-town scores in the injury report this inning. First the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
That's the pitch right there that I thought that Addison Barger would have a tough time with. That really good changeup, the one that starts right down the middle.
1-1. Swing and a chopper, a high hopper to second, fielded chest high by Altuve, throws to first, 1 down. Let's go to the injury report, brought to you by Bergmanis Prayer, personal injury lawyers. If life has thrown you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Prayer, personal injury lawyers. You focus on getting better, Bergmanis Prayer will take care of the rest. Visit bplawyers.ca. We're going to start with the bad news, and then I got good news 3 in a row. First, though, Brian Serven is up, right on right pitch. High, ball 1.
I like that ratio.
Yeah. The bad news is pretty tough. The bad news, Jordan Romano went in to see Dr. Keith Meister yesterday. Today got arthroscopic surgery. 1-0 pitch fouled off to the right, 1-1. It was successful surgery to repair a right elbow impingement, but because that is the case, Romano, they said, will not throw for approximately 6 weeks. So that puts the rest of his season in question. 1-1, fouled off, 1-2.
So 6 weeks, 6 weeks no throw, 6 to 8 weeks probably build up. I would imagine.
You think 6 weeks build up for a reliever?
Yeah. Well, it's surgery, right? It's not like he's coming back from a PRP injection or something like that.
Yeah.
It's actual surgery. They went in to fix something. So I would imagine, I think it's pretty slow.
1 ball, 2 strike, the pitch. Hit foul off to the right again. Still a ball and 2 strikes. All right, let's get to the good news. Jimmy Garcia threw his second side session off of a mound today. About 20 to 25 pitches was the target. They didn't say anything with certainty, but the next appearance for Garcia, or the next throwing, could be a rehab appearance in Buffalo. 1-2. Fouled off into the netting. Bounces all the way back onto the field of play toward the mound. Still ball and 2 strikes.
And I have to say, I have seen Jimmy Garcia in that bullpen, and he looks pretty happy, so that's a good sign.
Garcia also dealing with some pain in the right elbow. 1-2. Once again, fouled off by Serven. And then, hey, Brian Serven's here. He's getting his first start today because Danny Jansen's on paternity leave. And yesterday, Jansen welcomed in his second child and first daughter to his family. 1-2 pitch. Downstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Josephine Stevie Jansen, born at 2/19 yesterday, and John Schneider said everyone's doing well. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, still 2-2. Danny, his wife Lexi, and recently made older brother Miles as well.
Stevie's a fun name.
Yeah, so Stevie, the middle name, is after Jansen's dad.
Oh,
Steve. Cool. 2-2. Swinging a liner, right field, base hit. First of the year and first as a Blue Jay for Brian Serven. He's on first with 1 out.
And like we said, he's having a decent season down in AAA, so he's a guy that can swing the bat. That's a good swing right there.
Was not a bad pitch by Blanco. That was a 4-seamer right on the outside corner, but Serven went with the pitch, took it into right field. And before George Springer comes up, Yainer Diaz is going to go out to the mound. So Danny Jansen is all good, and the plan still is for him to return tomorrow. You only get 3 days on the paternity list. They could put him on the restricted list for 1 day tomorrow if they had to. And today, no Justin Turner because he's gone on the paternity list. His wife, Courtney, has gone into labor. John Schneider said he got the call this morning. That will be the first kid for Justin Turner. And the kid is going to be born, they said, in Toronto. So Justin Turner will have a Canadian baby, which is pretty cool.
For the rest of, is a boy or girl?
I don't know.
So for the rest of their life, it'll say born in, birthplace, Toronto, Canada. That's pretty cool. On the American passport.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it'll have, he or she will have an American passport.
First pitch to George Springer, cut on and missed, strike 1. And so with Turner going on the paternity list today, Stuart Baroa is up. I believe he got here pregame. I didn't see him, but I believe he is here and in the dugout for the Blue Jays. 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. Oh, and one more piece of good news, I guess, is Jose Barrios. We were wondering yesterday what exactly happened. They had a guy warming when he was only on 50 pitches, but they said nothing was wrong. They just didn't want that inning to spiral. They got to win every game they can right now. 1-1 pitch. Springer takes in the dirt, 2-1. So they said everything is okay with Jose.
That actually makes a ton of sense. I really like that answer. That's probably the best answer that you could have come up with.
Now, I will say, they didn't bring Genesis Cabrera in against the lefty Alvarez, who did hit a 3-run homer. But yes, 2-1. Springer takes downstairs. He's bouncing around. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Looked like he was eager to swing, but just held back at the last moment. 2 walks in the game for Springer. Runner on first serving. 1 out, 1-1 game, bottom of the 5th. A peek at first, Blanco's pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball, hit to the shortstop, Pena. Flips to second one, Altuve at first. Inning-ending double play. 6-4-3, the Astros turn it. They erase the 1-out knock of Servin, and we will go to the 6th in a 1-1 game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikey's accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is the beginning of a new era.
City TV has the smoldering new season of The Bachelorette.
This is the moment.
Jen Tran is ready for love. And this time, the power is in her hands.
I feel more confident than ever.
Watch the roses fly and the petals fall.
I feel like the main character in my own love story. I've got the power.
The Bachelorette season premiere Monday, July 8th on City TV or stream it on City TV Plus.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Hurts smacks it down the left field line. This one's got a chance. It's good!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Yusei Kikuchi still on the mound for the Blue Jays as we start the 6th inning in Toronto. 1-1 game, Blue Jays and Astros. It's been a pitcher's duel so far between Kikuchi and Blanco. Lefty kicks and fires to Yordan Alvarez, who hammers the ball. Right field. If it's fair, it's gone, and it's way gone. Off the front facing of Schneider's porch, the Astros take their first lead of the day, 2-1.
He is on an absolute tear. You can see Yusei shaking his head. That is a pitch, especially at 95 miles an hour, that not many guys can get to, and Yordan Alvarez demolished that baseball into the third deck in right field. He is something special.
110 miles an hour off the bat, and he knew it right away. So a home run there for Alvarez, his 3rd in as many days here in Toronto. Here's the pitch to Yainer Diaz. It's fouled off, 0-1. Alvarez, now with 19 homers, has tied the injured Kyle Tucker for the most home runs on the Astros. He's driven in both today. 2-1 Houston, and the 0-1 pitch is cut on and missed by Yainer Diaz, 0-2.
That fastball was actually off the plate a little bit on the inside part at 95, left on left. It's almost impossible to get the barrel to that.
0-2. Hit in the air right field. Barger backing up, still backing up onto the track. curls and makes the catch. 1 out. So 1 down, 2-1 Astros, top of the 6th. Let's go to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Reds have extended their lead over the Yankees. Stuart Fairchild with a solo home run. It's 3-0. Cincinnati over New York, top of the 6th. First pitch to Jake Myers, hit foul, 0-1. Also some action going on in downtown Toronto in the sports world, not too far from here. Next pitch is bounced up the middle by Myers, fielded by Horwitz, right over the second base bag. He throws over to first, 2 down. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Toronto FC hosting Orlando City today. Derek Etienne Jr. with a goal in the 5th minute for Toronto FC to take the lead, but Orlando City strikes back in the 27th minute, and then an own goal right on the brink of halftime makes it 2-1 for Orlando City at half.
When does Toronto or Canada play in the Copa America again?
Friday.
Okay.
I believe. First pitch to Jeremy Pena, low ball 1.
I know you were all over their last game.
Oh yeah. Well, they made it to the quarterfinals. The Americans didn't even make it to the quarterfinals. Here's the 1-0. Low 2-0. Not that the U.S. is necessarily the powerhouse, but they definitely have had more success on that kind of stage than Canada has up until now. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. 2-1 Astros, and the 2-0 pitch. Hit in the air, deep left field. Going back, Schneider at the wall, leaps, and it's just off his glove and down on the track. Pena racing around second will hold up and backpedal into the bag, and I think that'll go down as a double for Jeremy Pena.
Yeah, Schneider missed that baseball by inches. He looked like he had a beat on it going back against that left field wall. Timed his jump perfectly and just missed it. It actually hit the wall first and then his glove.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from up here. I mean, 400 feet away maybe, but yeah, he did not really have a chance to make that catch. Double, though, is going to prompt John Schneider to walk out to the mound here, and Yusei Kikuchi looks like he is going to be done. Zach Pop has been warming up for a while. Schneider will take the baseball from Kikuchi, who strides off the mound after 5 2/3 innings. Only 2 runs allowed right now. He's responsible for Pena on second, and Pop will try and strand Pena and keep it a 2-1 Astros lead in the 6th. With Kikuchi off the mound and Pop jogging in, let's go to today's host. Here's Roger Lajoie.
And Ben, thank you very much. Time to look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by the St. Louis Bar and Grill. Busy night in the majors, everybody in action. In Pittsburgh, St. Louis and Pittsburgh tied at 3. Wilson Contreras just hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 8th inning to tie that game for the Cardinals. Former Blue Jay Rowdy Tellez with his 5th for the Pirates. 3-3, St. Louis and Pittsburgh now playing in the top of the 8th. Chicago White Sox, always big news when they're winning a ball game with their 24-63 record, but they're doing that in Cleveland tonight, leading 6-2. Andrew Benintendi has a 2-run double among the White Sox runs in that one. Bottom of the 7th in Miami, the Boston Red Sox lead Miami 3-1. In Washington, also in the bottom of the 7th, the New York Mets lead Washington 5-4. Getting it done by the home run tonight, Tyrone Taylor, Mark Vientos, and Francisco Lindor, all with homers in that one for the Mets. Washington coming back, though, Luis Grace Jr. with his 8th in the bottom of the 6th has made it a 5-4 game. That's where the Mets lead, bottom of the 7th in Washington. At Yankee Stadium, Cincinnati Reds leading the Yankees 3-0. Marte with his first, a 2-run homer, and Fairchild with his 5th with a homer in that one as well for the Reds, making it 3-0. Atlanta leads San Francisco 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Philadelphia and Chicago tied at 1 in the 3rd. Detroit and Minnesota scoreless, top of the 3rd. San Diego and Texas after 2 scoreless. Tampa up 1-0 on KC, and Milwaukee and Colorado scoreless in the 1st inning. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Now back to Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Raj. 2 outs, runner on second. 2-1 Astros, top of the 6th. Zach Pop's pitch to Mauricio Dubon, called strike 1. A run in this inning for the Astros on the Alvarez homer. Pop now trying to limit it to just that. Making his 29th appearance of the year, a 5.5 earned run average. Righty looks at second. One more peek and the 0-1. Outside. Hard, big movement sinker for Zach Pop. There's a cutter and a slider as well. Brampton native leans forward, gets the sign he wants. And the 1-1. Swing and a bouncer foul. Looked like Dubon both backed off the plate and swung at that pitch at the same time. It's 1-2.
I mean, that pitch right there is just almost unhittable. So much downward movement, the horizontal movement, 97 miles an hour. Sometimes you got to wonder how this guy gets hit.
Stuff is off the charts for Pop, who kicks and fires and gets a ground ball to second base. Picked up by Horwitz. He throws out Dubon and ends the inning. Pop does the job, stranding Pena on second, but the Astros take the lead. The leadoff home run by Yordan Alvarez has it at 2-1 Houston, middle of the sixth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Find out who will finish first in America's second city.
And they say it's hard to pass here on the streets of Chicago. He's proven that he can do it.
Listen to the Grant Park 165 on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio.
Out onto Michigan Avenue in downtown Chicago, Illinois.
Plus, our exclusive driver-to-crew chatter puts you inside the cars as they race through the streets of Chicago.
Thank you, guys.
Don't miss a lap. Sunday at 3:30 Eastern on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90, and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, Sean Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Hopefully you get a couple guys going at the same time, and we're just looking for consistency.
Original podcast, Black Diamonds. Hear stories about the legends of the Negro Leagues and conversations with the all-time greats they've influenced, like five-time World Series champion Derek Jeter.
I don't care what race you are. You need to know your past. This is U.S. history. It's not just baseball history.
Hear over 70 episodes of the award-winning Black Diamonds podcast, available now on the SiriusXM app or wherever you get your podcasts.
After the game, join us on MLB Network Radio. We're talking baseball with you all season long on SiriusXM Channel 89 and the SiriusXM app.
The Sportsnet Radio Network.
2-1 Astros, bottom of the sixth in Toronto. Spencer Horwitz leading off. Takes the first pitch from Ronel Blanco upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays trailing for the first time today. Yordan Alvarez with a go-ahead homer in the top half. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. We're here in the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Luke Swadron, Tom Young, our technical directors. Roger Lajoie, our host. Nick Blackmore, our producer. 2-0. Called strike, a fastball right down the middle.
And we're getting to that point in the ball game when if you get a guy on, you have to make something happen. You have to hit and run, steal a bag, manufacture that run.
2-1 pitch, cut on and missed, 2-2. Now they might not in this part of the order. You got Horwitz, Guerrero, Bichette due up this inning.
Outside of this part of the order.
Yeah. Horwitz 0 for 2 today. 2-2 pitch. Foul tipped into the glove. Strike 3 gets him on the changeup in the zone. And that's the 4th strikeout tonight for Ronel Blanco.
It actually looked like Spencer Horwitz was right on that pitch. He just swung a little bit over it. He waited back, waited, and swung. The timing seemed right. Just swung and missed.
So a rare 0 for 3 start for Horwitz tonight. Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. First pitch, called strike. The 6th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. As a big fan of small biz, Desjardins awarded another $3 million to entrepreneurs across Canada. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz this year at goodsparkgrants.ca. Bottom of the 6th, 1 out, bases empty. 2-1, the Astros lead the Blue Jays. 1-1 to Vlad. Swing and a chopper to third, backhanded by Bregman. Long throw on to first, just beats the sprinting Guerrero. And that'll make it 2 down. Caribbean Carnival returns to Rogers Center for the 4th time on Friday, July 26th. The night filled with Caribbean music, dancing, and more. The first 15,000 fans will receive one of 4 Blue Jays neon hat giveaways. Head to bluejays.com/carnival to purchase your tickets today. 2 down, the pitch to Bo Bichette. Outside, ball 1. Bichette has driven in the lone Blue Jay run today. A sac fly in the first. He also struck out in the 4th. 1-0. Swing and a miss. For Bo, it's a first start in the cleanup spot since June 14th, the last game he had before hitting the injured list. 1-1. Down and away, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Rono Blanco just threw his 98th pitch, so I'm assuming, if not Bo Bichette, Dalton Varsho is his last hitter.
Had Taylor Scott up for a while in the right field bullpen. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a liner headed to left field. That's down and bouncing into the corner. A fair ball, and it looks like extra bases. Bichette around first. He jogs into second with a 2-out double. Caught a changeup right over the middle of the plate. And that'll be the day for Blanco as Joe Espada walks out of the dugout. For Bichette, it's his 15th double of the year, and he is going to end the day of the righty starter. Teammates coming to the mound to give Blanco pats on the back. With 2 outs, the Astros will go to their pen. The Blue Jays have the tying run in scoring position, bottom of the 6th. With that bullpen door open, let's go back to our host today. Here's Roger Lajoie.
Thanks very much, Ben. And that gives us another look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. A very busy night in the majors and a couple of games just underway as well to tell you about. But first, let's recap. Bottom of the 8th inning, St. Louis and Pittsburgh are tied at 3. Rowdy Tellez has a homer in that one for Pittsburgh, with Wilson Contreras' 2-run homers tied the game. 3-3, bottom of the 8th. In Pittsburgh. Top of the 8th in Cleveland, the White Sox leading Cleveland 8-2. Martin Maldonado has 3 RBIs in that game for the White Sox. Boston leading Miami 3-1. They are now through 7 innings in Miami. The Washington Nationals trailed the New York Mets 5-0, but have come roaring back with 6 runs. They now lead 6-5 in the bottom of the 7th in Washington. Top of the 7th at Yankee Stadium, the Reds lead the Yankees 3-0. Marte and Fairchild with homers in that one for Cincinnati. Atlanta now up on San Francisco 4-0. Bottom of the 5th inning. Adam Duvall with an RBI double in that one for Atlanta. Philadelphia and the Cubs tied at 1 after 3. San Diego leading Texas 2-0 after 2.5. Tampa Bay on top of Kansas City 1-0. They're in the top of the 3rd in Kansas City. Detroit leading Minnesota 5-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Carson Kelly with a grand slam in that one for Detroit. San Diego leads Texas 2-0, bottom of the 3rd. And Milwaukee leads Colorado 1-0 after 1. 3 late games: LA at Oakland, Arizona at the Dodgers, and Baltimore at Seattle. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Once again, Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Raj. 2 outs. Taylor Scott into the game for the Astros with Bo Bichette on second and a 2-1 Houston lead. Right on left, the pitch to Dalton Varsho is in the zone for strike 1. Scott, amid a breakout season in the Astros pen, 38th appearance of the year, earned run average is below 1.5 in over 40 innings of work. 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2.
Yeah, up until this season, he was nowhere near this good. His closest ERA was last year, and that was 5.60. He's sitting at 1.49 right now. That's pretty incredible.
He had only made 39 career appearances from 2019 to 2023. This is 38th of this season, and the 0-2 pitch is hitting the air down the left field line. Foul into the seats.
He throws a lot like Jose Cuas, that low 3/4. But Taylor Scott is a little bit more of a short arm guy. But again, it's just another look that you get out of that bullpen. Not just the generic 95 right over the top. Something a little bit different.
A breath from the righty. Comes set now and looks back at Bichette. 0-2 again. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stuff isn't overpowering. The righty averages 93 on his 4-seam fastball, mixes in a mid-80s slider and change a lot, occasionally throws a sinker. 1-2. Way down and away. Scott, a right-handed reliever from South Africa, was the second South African to reach the big leagues when he debuted in 2019. The first gift Ngape debuted with Pittsburgh in 2017 and played briefly with the Blue Jays in 2018 as well. 2-2 pitch. High, full count. Bo leading off second, 3-2 pitch is lined to right field, sinking and down for a hit. They're giving Bichette the wave. Throw from McCormick, bounces up the line. It's an RBI single for Varsho. Snap throw to first. They get him out, but Dalton Varsho does single in the tying run. Out, caught between first and second. The run will count, though, as the tag play came after Bichette had scored, and we're knotted up at 2. Going to the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
So, you want to be a Looney Dogger, eh? Every Tuesday Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Grab $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Plus, stop by the Schneider's Porch, your hot dog headquarters. The destination for a one-of-a-kind hot dog experience with excellent ballpark views. So, whether you're the relish ringleader or 7th inning snacker, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. Don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He keeps this game tied
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 7th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. Desjardins awarded another 150 grants worth $20,000 each to entrepreneurs across Canada. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz at goodsparkgrants.ca. 2-2 ball game after the Dalton Varsho RBI single in the 6th. Here's the pitch. Zach Pop to Chas McCormick. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. After the 7-6 game yesterday, a low-scoring affair today. 0-1. Swinging bunt, bounce back to the mound, and Pop fumbles with it. McCormick is safe at first. That one was rolled straight back to the hill. But Pop maybe just took his eye off the ball for a second, and McCormick is safe at first.
Yeah, that's tough luck for Zach Pop, especially the leadoff hitter in this inning. And now the Houston Astros can get something in motion here. But yeah, that's a good pitch, a good result. And I think you're right, Zach Pop just fumbled that one.
They haven't scored it yet, but you would have to think that goes down as an error. Here's the first pitch to John Singleton, pinch hitting. Lefty swinger takes inside 1-0. He comes in relief of the right-handed hitter, Gray Kessinger. Singleton hitting in the 230s this year, and now playing in his 62nd game. 1-0. Chopped foul down the first base line. Runner on first, nobody out. They do call it an error, by the way, on Zach Pop that allows Chas McCormick to reach. First error in the game, either side. Pop got the final out of the 6th. Here's his pitch to Singleton. Fouled back off of the home plate up Dan Iasonia, who almost went down to the ground there. Stopped himself from falling by putting two hands into the dirt, and he's walking out to the mound right now. Takes off his mask and goes to hand the ball to Pop. The other umpires are going to come check on it.
It actually looked like it deflected off of Servin's mask or shoulder and hit Iasonia. He seems to be okay.
It was definitely foul tipped. We're getting a second look at it right now. Singleton tipped it back, and I think it went right into the chin of Iasonia.
Yeah, it didn't touch Servin at all.
And now Jose Menestral is checking on Iasonia. Blue Jays head athletic trainer with a hand on the ump's left shoulder, gives him a pat on the back. Looks like he is good to go. That's great news. Iasonia puts the mask back on and reassumes his position behind home plate.
Jose Menestral is always so thorough. Every time he goes out there, you can tell he's just very thorough with what he's doing, especially when guys are getting hit in the mask and the chin like that.
Got to be careful, of course, with stuff around the head and neck area, but Iasonia's okay. And the 1-2 pitch to Singleton is ripped down the right field line. A fair ball bouncing into the corner. Around second base, McCormick's headed to third. Gary Pettis, third base coach, will hold him up, but it's a pinch hit double for Singleton and 2 in scoring position with nobody out for the Astros.
And that's just tough luck for Zach Pop for the Toronto Blue Jays. First the error, and then not a bad pitch right there. Singleton just goes down and kind of golfs it into the corner. A little bit of a backup pitch right there, but again, not a terrible pitch from Zach Pop just over the glove of Vlad at first.
Here comes Jose Altuve, and I almost wonder if they walk him here. First base is open. Altuve is about as tough to retire as it gets, although he's 0 for 3 today.
It doesn't look like they're going to walk him, but that's actually not a bad idea.
They're going to pitch to Altuve, infield in. First pitch. Swing and a liner off the glove of Guerrero, down in right field, a base hit. In to score McCormick. They stop Singleton at third. Jose Altuve's RBI single makes it 3-2 Astros.
I mean, there are 0 outs, so that factors into it. It's a tough ask. Nobody out, bases loaded. Alex Bregman and then Yordan Alvarez. But, I mean, that wasn't a bad call. Walking Jose Altuve, maybe getting a double play, a pop-up, a strikeout.
Set up a force at the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to manage in hindsight, and now we've seen what the result was. But
either way, it's not a good situation.
No, it's not good now either. First and third, nobody out. Here's Alex Bregman. 3-2 Astros. Pop's pitch. Line to short. Caught by Bichette. Gets up. And both runners scramble back. Bo caught that just above the dirt. And that's a huge first out.
Yeah, that's a big first out. Bo Bichette caught that baseball and looked at first base. John Singleton was actually way off the bag at third. If he came up looking at third base, you could see Spencer Horowitz pointing at third base. The Blue Jays would have had an easy double play.
I think for Bichette, because the ball pulled him to his left, he was just facing there, but you're right. And now John Schneider's going to walk out to the mound. I don't think they'll let Alvarez, the left-handed hitter, bat against the righty thrower Pop. Brendan Little, a southpaw, has been getting loose in the Blue Jay pen, and John Schneider makes the call to the bullpen. A run in this inning for the Astros. They take the lead back. It's 3-2 Houston. First and third, Alvarez about to hit. Little emerging from the bullpen. Let's go to today's host, Roger Lajoie.
And Ben, thanks very much. So we can take another look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, and it is a busy night in the majors. As we've said, bottom of the ninth now in Pittsburgh. St. Louis and the Pirates are tied at 3. Wilson Contreras' 2-run homer tied that game for the Cardinals. Bottom of the ninth in Pittsburgh, tied at 3. Top of the ninth in Cleveland, the Chicago White Sox looking for just their 25th win of the season. They're leading Cleveland 8-2. Not to jinx them, but a pretty good lead there in Cleveland for the White Sox. Bottom of the 8th inning, much closer game. Boston leading Miami 3-1 in Miami. Washington was down 5-0 to the New York Mets on 3 homers by Taylor, Vientos, and Lindor for the Mets. But Washington has scored 6 straight runs, are now in the top of the 8th in Washington, and Washington leading 6-5. Bottom of the 7th at Yankee Stadium, Reds continue to lead the Yankees 3-0. San Francisco trailing at Atlanta 3-0. Top of the 6th inning in Atlanta. Philadelphia and Chicago tied 1-1. That's the Cubs, bottom of the fourth inning at Wrigley. Detroit leading Minnesota 5-1. Top of the fourth inning, Carson Kelly with a grand slam for the Tigers in that one. Texas has taken a 3-2 lead on San Diego, bottom of the third inning. Kansas City up 2-1 on Tampa Bay, bottom of the third in Kansas City. Those are two of the four teams the Blue Jays are chasing in the wild card race. Bottom of the second now in Colorado. Milwaukee leading Colorado 2-0. Three late games, 9:40 start. The LA Angels are in Oakland to take on the A's. Arizona and the Dodgers hook up at Dodger Stadium at 10:10. And Baltimore and Seattle also a 10:10 start in Seattle tonight. That's a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. And Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Once again, Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Roger. And pardon me, I jumped the gun a little bit. They had Brendan Little up, but the Blue Jays go to Yusei Kikuchi, the righty, out of the pen, and immediately intentionally walk Yordan Alvarez. So they don't face the left-handed hitting slugger, who has a double and a homer today. He will go down to first base. The bases are now loaded with one out, and Kikuchi can go right on right with Yainer Diaz.
I don't mind this move here, but the only negative that I see doing that is now you have two guys in scoring position instead of just one guy in scoring position. But again, Yordan Alvarez has been so good this series.
3 homers in 3 games. So here's Diaz, who's 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Kikuchi's pitch is hit through the right side of the infield, a base hit. Singleton scores. They're setting Altuve. Throw to the plate is way offline. Altuve will score. It's a 2-run single for Yainer Diaz in a 5-2 Astro lead.
Yeah, just like that. There's the 2 runs that you put in scoring position. They score. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20, so let's not talk about that. But you just have to make a better pitch there in that at-bat. Yainer Diaz is a good hitter as well. It's not Yordan Alvarez, but he is a good hitter.
Fastball middle in, that Diaz inside out into right field. And 3 runs in the frame for the Astros. They'll all get charged to Zach Pop, although one will be unearned because the batter reached on a pop error. Here's Jake Myers to third, still only 1 out, the pitch. And he nailed him in the back. Kikuchi's sweeper runs inside on Myers, and the bases are loaded again.
This has gone from bad to ugly here. Now you have the bases loaded, still only 1 out. And here comes Jeremy Pena.
Pop's line is closed. He will finish with 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. No walks, no strikeouts. Yusei Kikuchi allowed just 2 runs, and now the next pitch runs in and hits Pena. That'll score a run. Kikuchi has hit 2 in a row, and it's 6-2 Houston.
And that almost looked like a replay. It looked like the exact same pitch, a fastball that ran in on Pena, hit him in the elbow. He looks to be all right, but Joe Espada was kind of staring out. I'm not sure what he was looking at, but
first one was a sweeper, second one was a fastball, and here comes John Schneider to the mound. Yusei Kikuchi has only thrown 3 pitches, but that's going to be his day. Single, hit batter, and now Brendan Little will come into the game. 6-2 Houston, 1 out, bases loaded, top of the 7th. He sounds so nice. Let's hear him twice. Here's our host today, Roger Lajoie.
And thanks very much again, Ben. So let's keep checking that out-of-town scoreboard. Brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Lots of games to talk about. And tough night for the Toronto Blue Jays and a tough night for TFC as well. They had an early 1-0 lead against Orlando City, just down the road, actually, from Rogers Center. But Orlando City has come back with 2 straight goals. It's 2-1. Orlando City over TFC in the MLS, playing in the 68th minute now down at BMO Field. They're going to extra innings in Pittsburgh. St. Louis and Pittsburgh are tied at 3 after Contreras' 2-run homer tied that game for the Cardinals in the top of the 8th. Top of the 9th in Cleveland, the White Sox, again, looking for that 25th victory of the season. They're on top of the Guardians comfortably, 8-2. Top of the 9th now in Miami, the Red Sox lead the Marlins 3-1. Washington, after trailing 5-0, up 6-5 on the Mets, now in the top of the 8th. Mets have a runner at second with 2 out in the top of the 8th. Yankees are trying to rally back against the Reds. They trailed 3-0 going into the bottom of the 7th, but the Yankees have put a 2-spot up and have runners on the corner with 1 out. 3-2, Reds lead the Yankees. Atlanta up on San Francisco 3-1, bottom of the 6th. The Cubs now have taken a 2-1 lead on the Phillies in the bottom of the 4th. Carson Kelly's grand slam has Detroit up on Minnesota 5-1. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Texas, with 3 runs in the 3rd, now leads San Diego 3-2 at Texas in the top of the 4th. Kansas City on top of Tampa Bay 2-1, bottom of the 3rd in Kansas City. And Milwaukee leads Colorado 2-0, bottom of the 2nd in Colorado. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Once again, let's go to Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Raj. The Astros have scored 4 in the inning, still have the bases loaded, and the 9th Astros batter to come up in this 7th is Mauricio Dubon. 1 out against 6-2, bases loaded. Infield in for the Blue Jays. Lefty Brendan Little kicks and fires home, and the first pitch fouled off. 0-1. Blue Jays had just tied it up in the bottom of the 6th, but error, double, single, line out, walk, hit batter, and it's gotten ugly. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. And if you really look in the last while, the Blue Jays, going back to June 23rd, have scored 52 runs before today, most in the American League. They don't have an astounding record because pitching, actually, rather than early in the year where hitting was giving them trouble, has been in a tough spot right now. 1-1. Swing and a fly ball down the right field line. Barger giving it a chase, and it's off the netting. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the biggest thing, especially in this game, the glaring issue is that bridge guy. You can't win a close ball game if you don't have those bridge guys in your bullpen, and that's the guys that come in after the starter and before the high leverage late inning guys. And the Blue Jays just don't really have that right now.
Brendan Little kicks and fires, and Dubon hits the ball on the ground to short. Bichette will throw home for 1, and Servin gets his foot on the plate, stretching out like a first baseman to make the play. So that's a fielder's choice. Bichette thought about turning 2, but decided to take the safe out at the plate, and they're now 2 down.
Yeah, they wouldn't have got Dubon at first base there. That's a good play from Bo Bichette. Keep this score at 6-2. You don't want to fall behind 7-2 there. They might have got Dubon, but that was a safer play right there.
So a 6-2 force out. Bases still loaded, and now Chas McCormick up, who it feels like a long time ago had a check swing roller to the plate that was fumbled for an error, and that's how this whole inning started. New baseball for the lefty Little. For Brendan Little, this is his 15th appearance of the season, and earned run average just above 5. Stretches out his left arm, dangles it as he leans forward to the plate. And now comes set. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 6-2 Astros, top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. High and in, McCormick lays off, 1-0.
That fastball is 97 miles an hour.
It's got some pretty serious juice. It fluctuates in the mid-90s, but Blue Jays have 2 hard-throwing lefties with Little and Cabrera. 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. You talk about the bridge guys not really being there for the Blue Jays. It's been a perfect storm of some guys being inconsistent and having down years, and a handful of guys being hurt as well. 1-1. Swinging a foul off, 1-2. You come into this season, and obviously bullpens are a bit volatile, but you come into this year, your top 5 is Romano, Swanson, Garcia, Green, and Meza. One of those guys is in the bullpen right now. 2 of them are hurt, and Green was hurt earlier in the year. And one is DFA'd in Meza, the other one's in AAA in Swanson. It's a tough way to live. 1-2. Swing and a fly ball down the right field line. Barger racing over near the foul line, watches it fall into the seats. All 3 base runners will return to their positions.
Yeah, and I mean, what are you going to do? You got guys that are struggling. You have guys that are hurt. Obviously, Jimmy Garcia, Jordan Romano haven't pitched in a little while. Those are your highest leverage guys, but it's been a perfect storm of injuries, of nightmares, of guys just not performing. And if you can weather the storm, you can make the playoffs, but if not, it's just kind of a lost season.
Little in the set, bases loaded, 2 down. 1-2 pitch. Again, hit foul off to the right. Chas McCormick will adjust his batting gloves before stepping back in. Little waiting for McCormick, goes to the back of the mound, picks up the rosin back, flips it around in his left hand a few times, and tosses it back onto the dirt. Looking forward, now he comes set at the bell. The lefty twists, deals, and another pitch fouled off by McCormick. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes.
McCormick putting up a good fight, some tough pitches, 96, 97 with those good sinking fastballs, and then fouls off that breaking ball right there that was almost in the dirt.
One-two once more. Outside, 2-2.
Keep in mind the bases are still loaded here. You got to throw strikes if you're Brendan Little.
Little tugs on the brim of his cap and now comes set. With 2 outs, the 2-2 pitch to Chas McCormick. Swing and a hard hit ball to third, picked on a bounce by Clement. Pumps, throws to first. Guerrero falling down on the stretch, but the play is made to end the inning. The Astros, though, score 4 runs. They come up with 3 hits, 1 error, a walk, and 2 hit batters. They leave the bases loaded. They lead 6-2 at the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2menintruck.ca. We've got lots of men and lots of trucks, so get ready to be moved.
Think 2menintruck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2menintruck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2menintruck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
So, you want to be a loony dogger, eh? Are you the relish ringleader, 7th inning snacker, TikTok topper, or ketchup king? Every Tuesday, Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneiders. You'll have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Then show the world your Looney Dog style. Because whether you're the home run hound or value virtuoso, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. So don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneiders. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at desjardins.com/heart.
Hey, this is Kevin Gosman. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the 7th inning in Toronto. The Astros leading the Blue Jays 6-2. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thanks so much for sticking with us and joining us in the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Roger Lajoie is today's host. Nick Blackmore, the producer. Luke Swadron and Tom Young, our technical directors. Blue Jays trying to mount a comeback. Davis Schneider leads off in the 7th against righty Brian Abreu. First pitch. Schneider will take it. It's called outside. Looked like a perfect fastball, to be honest, from Abreu, but it's 1-0.
Yeah, that was about as good as it gets right there. Ball 1.
Schneider will take it. He's trying to get on for the first time today. 0 for 2. The pitch. High. 2 balls, no strikes. Abreu is the third Astros arm today. Ronel Blanco pitched 5 2/3. Taylor Scott got the final out of the 6th, although he allowed a base hit, an RBI single to Dalton Varsho. 2-0 pitch is hit well center field. Going back, Myers twisting at the track. He makes the catch before bouncing into the wall. And that's a tough break for Schneider, allowed first out.
I actually thought that he might have gotten that baseball. It was a fastball at the bottom of the strike zone, and he hit it pretty well. Jake Myers just tracks it down in front of that wall in center field. Nice play out there.
Helps out Brian Abreu in already his 41st appearance of the season. Abreu with an earned run average just below 3. First pitch to Ernie Clement is outside, ball 1.
41 games before the All-Star break. That is absurd.
And he pitched 72 last year. Abreu's 1-0. Called strike with the slider. Slider is the lead pitch for Brian Abreu, but he's almost 50-50 with that sharp slider and the high 90s four-seamer. Very occasional change. 1-1. Swing and a pop-up first base side foul. Tracking back John Singleton, but that one is just onto the netting over the first base dugout. Singleton pinch hit, by the way, in the top of the 7th for Greg Kessinger and remains in the game in his spot at first.
We actually saw Brian Abreu on July 1st in this series, and he was throwing fastballs 93, 94, and we were questioning the velocity, and then all of a sudden it ticked up to the old 98.
It's kind of weird, like he just got a bad warm-up or something.
Yeah.
Next pitch down and away, 2-2.
But he's back to his old self here. That last fastball, 97.5.
He's been pretty consistent for the Astros last couple of years. 2-2 pitch. Buckles Clement, who started to swing but holds back. It's called strike 3. A slider at the top of the zone. Now 2 outs.
Yeah, that was a backup slider from Brian Abreu. A tough pitch to hit. You think it's going to break more than it does, and then it kind of just spins over the inside part of the plate. That's an almost impossible pitch to hit if you're Ernie Clement.
So now 2 down, and Abreu will pitch to Addison Barger, nobody on. First pitch slider called strike 1. 6-2 the Astros lead off the back of a 4-run top of the 7th. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Dark clouds over top of Rogers Center. 0-1 pitch is bounced foul, hit the front foot of Barger and rolls out of play first base side. 0-2. Abreu, a member of the 2022 World Series Astros, even pitched in their combined no-hitter against the Phillies in Game 4 of that World Series. 0-2. Swing and a bouncer to first. Singleton fields. He'll flip it back to the pitcher, Abreu, who covers in time to end a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 8th, 6-2 Houston. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The battle for European soccer supremacy has reached the knockout stage, and all the drama of the Euros is on Sirius XM.
Oh my goodness, what a story!
Every match is now win or go home, and they can all be heard on Fox Sports Channel 83.
That is sensational!
Before and after the matches, hear what the experts are saying on Sirius XM FC 157.
They are proven winners right now.
No one is covering Euro 2024 like Sirius XM. Listen in the car or on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your Sirius XM subscription? What? Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on Sirius XM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. Sirius XM Sports. We're more than just a game.
The battle for European soccer supremacy has reached the knockout stage, and all the drama of the Euros is on Sirius XM.
Oh my goodness, what a story!
Every match is now win or go home, and they can all be heard on Fox Sports Channel 83.
That is sensational!
Before and after the matches, hear what the experts are saying on Sirius XM FC 157.
They are proven winners right now.
No one is covering Euro 2024 like Sirius XM. Listen in the car or on the all-new Sirius XM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
And the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thank you so much for sticking with us on this Wednesday night. It's the 8th inning in Toronto, and the Astros lead the Blue Jays 6-2. Bowden Francis, the tall righty, enters the game for Toronto. 14th appearance of the season, earned run average just above 5. His pitch to John Singleton. High, ball 1. Singleton batting for the second time in as many innings, came in as a pinch hitter in the last frame. 1-0. Bounce to the plate. 2-0. It's been an interesting career for the left-handed hitter Singleton, who was an 8th rounder by the Phillies in 2009. Traded to the Astros in 2011 as one of the prospects in exchange for Hunter Pence going the other way. 2-0. High, 3 balls and no strikes. Debuted with Houston in 2014, did Singleton. Played in 95 games and hit 13 homers that year. Batting .285, or pardon me, with a .285 on base, batted in the 160s, but showed some pop. He takes the 3-0 for strike 1. .3-1 pitch, fouled back into the netting, full count. Singleton, though, would only play 19 games in 2015 and then was out of Major League Baseball until 2023. Spent some time playing pro in Mexico and returned to affiliated baseball in the Milwaukee system in 2022. 3-2. High ball 4. Ended up signing with the Astros after being designated for assignment by Milwaukee on a minor league deal last year, and is now a full-time Major League player with Houston again.
That's incredibly rare. I'm just looking at the history right now. 2015 to 2023, he was not in Major League Baseball. That is almost unheard of.
But back with the team he debuted with pretty much a decade later. Here's Jose Altuve, who was on that first team and is still here with the Astros as well. First pitch from Francis, wave and a miss. Gets Altuve way out in front of the curve. 0-1.
I wonder what that interaction was like in the clubhouse when they saw each other, perhaps for the first time in 8 years. Oh, you're still here?
Altuve, a long-time Astro. Next pitch is lifted to shallow right field. Barger with a long run in. He was playing back, but he'll get there and make the catch. 1 out.
And again, his approach at the plate is just so confusing. He looked awful on that swing, but he's one of the best hitters in the last 10 years in Major League Baseball, and you just scratch your head if you're a pitching coach, a manager, a pitcher on that mound. Most guys have no idea how to get him out.
Altuve still a 300 hitter, 1 for 5 today, but came up with a hit when the Astros needed it most. It was the go-ahead single in the 7th. Houston now leads 6-2, 1 out, top of the 8th. Francis looking in toward Alex Bregman. And the pitch. Fouled back, 0-1. Unlike Singleton, a very straightforward route for Bregman to the majors. He was the number 2 overall pick in 2015 out of Louisiana State University, also known as LSU. Highest drafted LSU position player and highest drafted New Mexican in Major League history. 0-1. Bounce to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. When he was drafted number 2 overall, pardon me, he passed Dwayne Ward, former Blue Jays closer, as the highest drafted New Mexican. Ward was the 9th overall pick, not by Toronto, but by the Atlanta Braves in 1982. 1-1. Down and in.
You ever been to New Mexico?
I have not.
It's cool. The only place I've ever been to is Albuquerque, so, I mean, I can't really say that I'm an expert in all things New Mexico, but I played against the Isotopes there, and all I remember is the ball absolutely flies.
Oh, yeah.
Not good memories for me.
Bregman, an Albuquerque native, takes outside 3-1. What I really do appreciate about the Albuquerque Isotopes is, if I'm not wrong, they were conceived in a Simpsons episode before they ever made a team. The local team is playing, I think, against the Albuquerque Isotopes. 3-1. Called strike at the knees, 3-2, and then later a team popped up. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the story.
So I don't know, and I was an avid Simpsons fan growing up, but I think so. It's the Springfield, whatever they're called, versus. Are you sure it's Albuquerque Isotopes? I know it's the Isotopes,
sure.
But what's the city?
3-2 pitch outside, ball 4. Bregman, an Albuquerque native, walks down to first, up to second base. John Singleton. Yeah, in the episode Hungry, Hungry Homer in season 12, released in 2001, they play the Albuquerque Isotopes.
Interesting.
And that episode's in 2001. The Isotopes form in 2003 as an actual team.
That's cool.
Now a mound visit right now as they're going to try and get Francis back on track. He's walked 2 of the 3 batters he's faced here to start the top of the 8th. It's 6-2 Houston at Rogers Center.
I apologize for questioning your knowledge
of Simpsons.
All things Simpsons.
I like the Simpsons, but it sounds like you're very devoted.
Was. When I was growing up, when I was in elementary school and high school.
It's still going, I think.
Let's see, it's like season 38 or something.
Unbelievable. Here's Yordan Alvarez. He's had quite the day. He's got a double, he's got a homer, and he has an intentional walk, 2 RBIs and a run scored. He's only been retired once back in the first inning on a ground out. 301 batter, 19 RBIs, 48 homers for the 6'5 lefty swinger from Cuba. Francis from the stretch delivers home. Fouled back, 0-1. We were talking about this in one of the breaks. Yordan Alvarez, originally a signing of the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2016, traded 6 weeks after being signed to Houston for reliever Josh Fields. 0-1. Called strike 0-2. Fields ended up having a decent stint with the Dodgers, but clearly Los Angeles did not know what they had at that point in Alvarez.
Somebody else was in that trade, weren't they? Was it straight up?
I think you're right. There was another prospect. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a liner down in right field, a base hit. Tight roping the foul line. Around third, Singleton comes in to score. Up to third, Altuve. It's a second double of the day for Yordan Alvarez, who now has 3 RBIs. 7-2 Houston.
I mean, Yordan Alvarez is just on cruise control right now. That wasn't a bad pitch again. It was a curveball that was down and in, and Yordan Alvarez just dropped that barrel and hit it into right field. Didn't really hit it hard, but he knows exactly what he's doing, not trying to do too much there. Just sneaks it just inside the line in right field for a double.
So Bregman on third, Alvarez on second, 1 out, and here's Yainer Diaz, who had a 2-run single in the 7th. He hits the first pitch up the middle into center field, a base hit. Bregman jogs home. Alvarez had to wait to see if that got through, so he's up to third. It's 8-2 Astros. Just to tie up that knot, by the way, on what we were talking about before, Alvarez was traded 1-for-1 for Josh Fields.
1-for-1. Still a little bit lopsided.
My goodness. And there's no offense.
Josh Fields was good, though.
He was a good reliever.
Yeah.
But I think if the Dodgers knew then what they know now, they would not have traded for Josh Fields.
Probably not, but I also don't think they're losing sleep at night.
They are not. Their DH is Shohei Ohtani. First and third for the Astros. 8-2 lead, top of the 8th inning. 1 out, and the pitch to Jake Myers. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Myers today is 0-for-3. He was hit by a pitch. A sweeper got him in the back in the 7th. Oh, 1. Swing and a foul off, 0-2. Myers will ask for time, takes some swings out of the box. Center fielder is one of only 2 lefty throwers, righty hitters in all of Major League Baseball active right now. 0-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to third, picked up by Clement. He bobbles, throws to second, and the runner is out. In to score Alvarez. Astros might look at that. That was pretty close at second. Blue Jays wanted to turn 2, but Clement fumbled the transfer, so it's a fielder's choice ground out and an RBI for Myers.
Yeah, if Clement comes up with that ball cleanly, I'm pretty sure that they get 2 there, but you're right, the Astros might want to take a look. Let's see this slow motion replay. I don't know, that was a bad angle, but it definitely looked like Diaz might have snuck that foot in there.
They're going to let play continue. Houston is up 9-2 now in the 8th inning. 3 runs in the frame, 2 outs, runner on first, and the pitch to Jeremy Pena. Called strike 1. 2022 World Series MVP Pena has a double, was hit by a pitch today, also a ground out and a flyout. 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2. Pena stepped in for Carlos Correa as a rookie in 2022 and really through the playoffs led the Astros to their second ever World Series title. 0-2. Bounced, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Francis steps on the third base side of the rubber, ball behind his back. Turns his shoulders to look at first, now sets above the belt. The kick and the pitch. Swing and a fly ball, medium depth left. Schneider walks forward and makes the catch to end the inning. 3 runs for the Astros on 2 hits. It's 9-2 Houston as we go to the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday?
Junior J Sunday.
You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base.
On Junior J Sunday.
So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too.
On Junior J Sunday.
Sundays are for Junior Jays. Get to the ballpark early to enjoy outdoor activities before continuing the fun inside while you cheer on the Blue Jays.
If you're feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com.
Junior J Sunday.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at Desjardins.com/heart.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Springer started right, coming in, leaps and makes the catch full stretch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center in downtown Toronto. Astros and Blue Jays in Game 3 of a 4-game series. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. It's 9-2 for Houston, who have scored 8 runs in the last 3 frames. With the big lead, lefty Brian King is on for Houston. He'll face Brian Servin, George Springer, and Spencer Horwitz. Long-haired lefty kicks and fires home, and Servin takes strike 1. Pretty cool for Servin in the 5th inning. He's had major league hits before in his 2 years with Colorado, but picked up his first hit as a Blue Jay. 0-1. Swing and a flare. Shallow left center, actually stays in the infield. Caught by the shortstop Pena, who moved back and then back onto the dirt. 1 out. Empty King, this is his 5th Major League appearance of his career. This is his rookie season. Coming into this one, had allowed 1 earned run in 4 1/3 innings. He kicks and delivers. High, ball 1.
There's a good amount of low-round draft picks on this Houston Astros roster. Brian King was a 30th rounder in 2019 by the Chicago Cubs.
1-0 pitch is hit in the air, right field by Springer. And it's hauled in by the right fielder McCormick, 2 down. Picked out of McNeese State in Louisiana. Astros picked him up in the minor league phase of the Rule 5 draft. He missed all of last year with Tommy John, but was called up for his debut on June 22nd, debuted on the 23rd. Left on left now, he faces Spencer Horwitz with 2 outs. First pitch, outside, ball 1. How about this for a first strikeout of his career? He struck out Gunnar Henderson. Next pitch to Horwitz, called strike, 1-1. Your first out was Ryan Howard, right? Not your first strikeout?
Yeah, he grounded out to second base, I believe.
Horwitz swings and misses 1-2. Do you know who you struck out first?
I don't even remember.
I'll get it.
I have so many strikeouts.
Okay, yeah. I mean, through the stacks.
But I do remember that I struck out Roy Halladay.
Well, that helps. It's a cool one, but I don't know if it's an impressive one. Two outs, bases empty. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off to the left. Your first strikeout did not come in that outing, so give me a second. I'll find it. Next pitch to Horwitz, foul back, and he's doing a big help to me, still trying to find this strikeout.
I forget. I should know this. I should know this answer. It was against the Washington Nationals in Miami.
June 30th, 2009.
And he was their second baseman, I believe.
1-2 again, swing and a miss, strike 3. Horwitz goes down, and we will have Chris Lear's first strikeout on the other side. We go to the 9th. It's 9-2 Houston in Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Spend 4th of July in the Hamptons with the superstars of electronic dance music. Vibe to sets from Swedish House Mafia, Sophie Tucker, Kygo, and many more. Captured live at Palm Tree Festival 2024, all throughout Independence Day, starting tomorrow, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Let's go. On BPM, Channel 52, and the Sirius XM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on Sirius XM Channel 89 and every morning on the Sirius XM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues. Right now on Channel 87.
Aaron Judge drills a 3-run home run.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on Sirius XM.
Top of the 9th inning in Toronto. 9-2, the Astros lead the Blue Jays. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Bowden Francis on the mound. Bottom 3 of the Astros order scheduled to hit this inning, starting with Mauricio Dubon. Francis into the wind, right on right pitch. Lined up the middle, towards center field. It gets down in front of Varsho for a base hit. As we were going to the break in the bottom of the 8th, we were talking about first career strikeouts because Brian King of the Astros struck out Gunnar Henderson for his first. So we were looking at Chris LaRue's
I am
first
on the
career
edge of my
strikeout.
seat right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we'll reveal it. Chris was guessing during the break, and he did get it. I didn't reveal it to him. It was a pretty good player. Christian Guzman, shortstop for a while for the Twins and Nationals, a two-time All-Star. You struck him out for your first ever strikeout. First pitch to Chas McCormick. Beats it into the ground, foul, 0-1.
I actually have a funny story about that first strikeout. So I believe I did well in that outing. I think
you did.
An inning and a third, maybe clean.
You an inning and two-thirds
Inning and two-thirds clean. All right, that's even better.
0-1. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And as you can imagine, I think that was my second outing or my third outing.
Third
outing. And I was pumped. It was probably my first clean outing in my entire career. And I remember I was by the spread line.
1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2, like the food after the game.
Yeah, grabbing food, whatever. And Jeffrey Loria comes up to me and he puts his arm around me. He's like, "Good job, Chris. You look great tonight." I was like, "Holy cow, Jeffrey Loria, this is great." And he goes, "You know what they say, though. What have you done for me lately?" And I was just like, "What?"
That's brutal. 1-2, hit foul, 1-2.
I was like, "What kind of comment is that?" And then he walked away. And that was it.
Lately, you had pitched a scoreless inning.
But what if I don't tomorrow? Anyways, that was one of my few interactions with Jeffrey Loria, and I tell people that all the time, and they're just like, "Yeah, that sounds about right."
1-2 pitch, hit foul again, off to the right. Yeah, that was a win that day for the Marlins. You pitched the 5th and 6th.
Yeah. Sean West started.
He did.
Yeah. See how I remember the weird things, but not my first strikeout?
1-2. Popped up foul and off to the right, still 1-2. It's 9-2 Astros, top of the 9th. Runner on first, no outs. Well, do you know who picked up the win that day? He pitched after?
I have no idea.
Rainiel Pinto.
Oh, yeah, he was the man. He was the man in Miami for a long time. One of those guys that flew under the radar that had a decent amount of time in the big leagues.
1-2 pitch is hit on the ground to short, backhanded by Bichette. Throws to second, one. Horwitz over to first. Not in time. It was a tough play just to get the first out. It'll go down as a fielder's choice for McCormick. Dubon is retired 6-4.
I'll tell you a funny story about Sean West.
All right.
So Brandon Hyde was our manager in Double-A that year. That's where we both got called up from. And Sean West gets called into the office, and Brandon Hyde, whatever, calls him, sends him up, says you're starting in a couple days or the next day or whatever. And Sean West comes out of the manager's office, Brandon Hyde's office. He's like, "Oh, my God, I got called up." I get called at the office. Get called up on the same exact day. We were roommates. It was pretty cool.
First pitch to John Singleton, low ball 1. And that was the first time you had ever been called up?
Not that time, no.
Okay.
But I think I had gotten sent down in between. But that time, so my first time was Philadelphia. And that was the time that Sean West story happened when we both got called up to Philadelphia.
1-0 pitch, called strike, 1-1.
But can you imagine getting called up on the same day as your roommate that you're living with in Jacksonville?
And then you pitch in the same game.
He was a first rounder, though, so it was pretty clear that he was on the fast track, and I was a 7th rounder, kind of finding my way.
1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. All right, the Marlins rallied for 6 runs that day, down 5-1.
Well, it's because I pitched in that game.
It's true. Hanley Ramirez helped out a little bit, too.
Right.
1-2 pitch. Singleton swings and misses. Strike 3. A strikeout for Francis. 2 down in the top of the 9th. Still 9-2 Astros. Got him on a splitter. Unless something drastic changes in this game, it looks like the Astros will take a 2-1 series lead. Houston's won 5 series in a row. They are just about the hottest team in Major League Baseball. First pitch to Jose Altuve, called strike 1.
And I truly don't think anybody is surprised.
It's just an inevitable thing. It's like if the Rays caught fire in a week, it'd just be the same thing you've seen for years in a row. Houston's been to 7 straight American League Championship Series. 0-1. bounced 1-1. And not just making those ALCSs, they've made 4 World Series in the last 7 years and won twice.
Almost inevitable that they're going to at least be better.
For all the controversy that had surrounded them early, they made the World Series in 21 and they won the World Series in 22 well after all of that stuff was resolved. 1-1, called strike 1 and 2. Altuve today is 1 for 5, an RBI single and a run scored. 9-2 Houston, top of the ninth. This was a 2-2 game going into the 7th, but the Astros have blown it open with a 4-run 7th and a 3-run 8th. Francis's pitch. Runs inside, almost hits Altuve. He looked back to the home plate ump Dan Iasonia to see if he'd call something, but it didn't hit him. It's 2-2.
He made the hand motion to the Houston Astros dugout, like maybe kind of didn't know if he got hit or not.
Is that possible to not know? I guess if it just hits your jersey.
Know. I mean, he has an arm guard on. I don't know.
2-2. Fouled back into the screen. Astros, if they win today, will try to make it 6 series wins in tomorrow and a pretty fun matchup again. Framber Valdez will pitch for Houston. Chris Bassett will go for the Blue Jays, and Bassett is as hot as any Blue Jays starter right now. 2-2. Called strike 3. Fastball right on the outside edge. Francis punches out Altuve to end the scoreless top of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth coming up. Toronto looking for a big rally. They need a touchdown to keep it going. It's 9-2 Houston. We go to the bottom of the ninth next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by our local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
That ball is gone. 3rd home run in 4 batters for the Blue Jays.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the ninth inning coming up at Rogers Center, and the Houston Astros all over the Blue Jays tonight, 9-2. Also coming up shortly is Jays Talk. Blair and Barker will have it. Give them a call after the game, 1-888-666-0590, 416-870-0590, or star 590. You can text them as well, 590-590. Much to discuss. Jays Talk coming up as soon as the ball game is done. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. For the call at the bottom of the ninth, here's Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Raj. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will lead off for the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette and Dalton Varsho scheduled to hit behind him. Rafael Montero, the long-haired righty, takes over for the Astros to try to finish off what looks to be another Houston win. They lead 9-2. For Montero, it's his 2nd appearance of the series. He pitched in the opening game and threw a scoreless 7th. And at that point, a 1-0 game in favor of Houston. It was a pretty high leverage spot. This one a little bit less so. The righty winds and delivers to Vlad Guerrero Jr. High ball 1. Guerrero was 1 for 3 today. A single to right field in the first, a line out, and a ground out. Swings at the 1-0 and hits it in the air right center field. Under it, McCormick, the right fielder, makes the catch. 1 out. A close one today for most of the game, but the Blue Jays have not done much with the bats since that 6th inning when they had 2 hits. Everyone has been retired 7 in a row since, and the Astros have done a lot in the last couple frames. Bo Bichette had a double in the 6th inning. Last time the Blue Jays had hits in a frame, and the first pitch is at the knees, called strike 1.
Yeah, prior to the 7th inning, this game was exactly as advertised. Yusei Kikuchi pitched pretty well. Ronel Blanco obviously pitched pretty well.
0-1 pitch, fouled off by Bo. Late swing, he rockets it foul into the netting above the first base dugout, 0-2.
And then the floodgates absolutely open. Houston scoring 4 runs in the 7th, 3 in the 8th.
Bichette will ask for time. He's undoing and redoing the straps on some of his arm protection on the lead left arm. Taps the plate, looks out at the righty Montero. The 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. As the Blue Jays try to get Bichette back going again, it has been a productive day for Bo. He's had a double, a run scored, also a sacrifice fly in the first, so an RBI. 1-2. Fouls it off. Reaches for a breaking ball off the plate outside and spoils it back.
And I actually thought that he got that sac fly, the one that he hit to deep center field. It looked like he got it. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, he held that finish, took a couple slow steps to first base.
1-2. Bichette swings, but it hit him. A peel down to first, and they say he went around. So Bo Bichette has struck out, and he looks to be in some pain. He tossed his helmet, but I think that's more in pain right now than in frustration. That one hit Bichette, I think, on the left forearm. They're checking on Bo right now.
Well, he's got that big elbow pad on the left arm. He's talking to Voon Chung right now, another one of the trainers in that Blue Jays dugout.
Oh, that got him on the underside, actually, of the right arm. Pardon me.
Yeah, that right arm. He doesn't have any protection on that forearm, on that right arm. And he definitely swung.
So that puts the Blue Jays down to their final chance in this ball game. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, 9-2 Astros. The series is tied at 1 right now. It's a 4-game set. Right on left, the pitch to Varsho. Hits it to left field on a line, but it hangs up. It's caught by Mauricio Dubon. That's the ball game. The Blue Jays stay in it until the latter stages. The Astros score 7 runs in the 7th and 8th combined, and they end up taking this game 9-2.
Yeah, prior to the 7th inning, the Blue Jays actually played pretty well, especially against Ronel Blanco, one of the best starters in the American League. Blanco goes 5 2/3, 4 hits, just 2 earned runs, but Yusei Kikuchi matched him pitch for pitch, also going 5 2/3 and 2 earned runs. Yusei Kikuchi was good tonight. We saw him with that fastball up around 98, 99. But then, like I said, the floodgates opened in that 7th inning. Blue Jays gave up 4 runs.
Toronto loses 9-2. We'll take a quick break, meet you on the other side, and then get you over to Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. Stick with us. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
So, you want to be a Looney Dogger, eh? Every Tuesday Blue Jays home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Grab $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around Rogers Center. Plus, stop by the Schneider's Porch, your hot dog headquarters. The destination for a one-of-a-kind hot dog experience with excellent ballpark views. So, whether you're the relish ringleader or 7th-inning snacker, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. Don't miss out on this delicious deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Varsho smashes the ball to right field. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center in downtown Toronto. The Blue Jays fall 9-2 today to the Houston Astros. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. We'll quickly tie a bow on this one before getting you over to Blue Jays talk. Chris, we already talked about the starters, both of them good today, Ronel Blanco and Yusei Kikuchi. Neither of them factor into the decision, though. This game tied up at 6 going into the 7th inning. And today, when you look back at this one, certainly you're going to look a bit at the offense, who only produces 2 runs, but also the Blue Jays bullpen had a tough outing here. They ended up allowing 7 runs, 6 of them earned in 3 1/3 innings.
Yeah, if you look back at the bullpen, you look at Zach Pop. Zach Pop is a guy to me that has a ton of potential. He has that huge fastball, so much movement on it. But a lot like Nate Pearson, when he gets guys on base and it's a close ball game, the wheels start to spin, the game starts to speed up on him. And in that 7th inning, he made that error and he let the first guy of the inning on base, and then after that, everything just started speeding up on him, and he ends up giving up those 3 runs, 2 earned. But he's a guy that needs to have a clean inning. But if you're a bullpen guy, you can't rely on having a clean inning every single time. You have to be able to be comfortable with guys on base, and Zach Pop at this point is just not.
Pop ends up picking up the loss in the game. Taylor Scott, who actually came in and allowed a hit in the only batter he faced, will get the win because it was a tie ball game when he finished off the 6th, and then the Astros took the lead. Houston ends up scoring 9 runs on 11 hits, no errors, and 10 left on base. The Blue Jays with 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 3 left on base. Scott goes to 5-2 with the win. Pop 0-3 with the loss. Tomorrow, Chris, pretty entertaining. One of the best lefties in baseball, Framber Valdez, and Chris Bassett, probably the best Blue Jays starter over the last 5-6 weeks. They're going to face off at 107.
Yeah, Chris Bassett has been incredible over the last little while. His fastball command has just been spot on, and I'm really excited for that afternoon tilt tomorrow. I think it's 107.
Yep.
But tomorrow's game is a must win for this Toronto Blue Jays team. They have to come out. They have to be inspired, and Chris Bassett is probably the best guy to have on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays lose and go to 39-47. The Astros 44-42. Toronto will try and split the series tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. For our technical directors, Luke Swadron and Tom Young, our producer, Nick Blackmore, our host, Roger Lajoie, and my partner, Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Schulman. Have a good night and stick around. Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker starts right now.
All right, Kevin Barker, let's make a deal. You and me and the listeners make a deal. Let's see if we can do this. Let's not talk about next year. Let's not talk about trading Bo or trading Vladdy or trading Yusei Kikuchi or signing Bo or signing Vladdy. Let's not ask for... Let's just all get together, hold hands, and ask Ross Atkins to go someplace and find a reliever. Just one or two. 2 would be great. Nothing. We don't worry about these big issues that we're all worried about with Bo and Vladdy and all that. Just forget about that for now. Find somebody other than Jose Cuas. There's got to be somebody out there someplace, pitching someplace in the world that it can help this bullpen. Because, Kevin, right now, this bullpen is, they're what you saw tonight. They're a bunch of guys, the odd exception, who are okay in very small doses. But when things get tough, they're just not up to it. Zach Pop was just not up to it tonight. And we've ridden the Nate Pearson Express for the past 3 years. That's the very least I ask. Try to find some relief. Try to find some relief pitching someplace. I don't care if they bring in 6 new guys every day, because you saw it today. There's hardly anybody in the ballpark at the end of the game. The Corona rooftop patio, it's empty. They were cleaning up the empties in the 7th inning, for God's sake, of that place. So 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. Those are the numbers to call.
feel free to call up and bitch. I got nothing else. I mean, I want to be optimistic here. Kevin Barker, what can we be optimistic about? Yusei Kikuchi?
Yusei Kikuchi, after the third inning, other than Alvarez, he was really good. The velocity was on point. For the most part, most of the pitches were not non-competitive. Other than the third inning, looked to me like he was overthrowing a little bit.
34 pitch inning. Yeah.
Yeah, look, that's the second time through, right? Top of the order. He knows it. Everybody else knows it. Buck Martinez was talking about it on our show. Mainly this turnaround for the Astros offense was the top three guys minus Tucker. You don't think Yusei knew that? Second time through, right? First time through, sort of looked like he's cruising through it. Second time through, looked to me like maybe overthrowing it. Some non-competitive pitches. You get Alvarez where he's hunting the heater. Boy, no matter how hard, again, Jeff, I said this and I'll continue to say it. These really good hitters who buy into, I'm going to hunt the heater no matter what. Probably, maybe, guessing, if you spin him one, maybe he spins himself in the ground, but he didn't. He wanted to go up and away. He went down and away with 99. Hardest pitch he's thrown all year. Doesn't matter how hard you throw it when dudes like this are looking for it. They drop the head on it, short and quick. Think big part of the field, backspin a ball to left center. And then again, it's that sort of that next at bat where he's trying to go up and away. He leaves it in. No matter how hard you throw it, no matter if you're lefty or righty, Alvarez, guys like that, just don't miss pitches like that. So other than those at bats and that Bregman walk before the Alvarez double with 2 outs, that sort of killed him because Bregman's having a real tough time against lefties. But other than that third inning, other than the at-bats against Alvarez, I mean, welcome to the party. Most dudes have trouble with Alvarez. So, yeah, I mean, he was really, really good. But I'm with you. The bullpen's a tough watch. Every time you see Sportsnet pan the camera over to the dugout and you see Pete Walker and John Snyder and whoever else over there is hanging their head trying to figure out what the heck's going on and why we happen to run these dudes out here. And
well, the problem is, Kevin, the problem is they know what's going on.
Absolutely.
That's the frustrating thing for John and Pete. They know they're running out dudes who shouldn't be in the majors. At least a couple of guys who have no business being in the major leagues. Let's be clear. I mean, let's just be clear about that. This is one of the worst bullpens in baseball, statistically, artistically, however artistically you want to put it. It's awful. Congratulations, by the way. I did find something positive. I would be remiss. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. becoming the 4th player in Blue Jays history to be voted as a 3-time All-Star, joining Alamar Carter and Jose Bautista. Congratulations to Vladdy, who's coming off the best month of his career. And really one of the few bright spots on this particular team. And shout out to Jose Cuas. Now, I'm not going to turn it into slam Jose Cuas, but Sportsnet stats reporting he's the first pitcher in modern MLB history, which is since 1901, about 2 years before I was born, to record 2 hit by pitches on 3 pitches thrown in a single inning. That's awfully hard to do. Or I'm sorry, in a single outing. That's awfully hard to do. I mean, you almost got to hit 2 guys with 1 pitch in order to do that.
Yeah, I mean, John put him in the right pocket, so give the manager credit.
Yeah, he did.
He walked the lefty to get to the 3 righties.
Yeah, I got your pocket for you right here. I got your pocket right here. 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. The Blue Jays, Blue Jays bullpen.
The Astros right now just a better team, Jeff. I mean, that's basically what this comes down to.
Yeah, the Astros are a better team, but the Blue Jays bullpen tonight, I mean, they just, again.
Blanco's really good. I think he's sort of the forgotten guy with the Astros, right? You can't really believe what you're kind of seeing. The location on both sides of the plate changes speeds. He's a tough kid. Got to give him credit.
Mark and Markham, you're on Blue Jays Talk. What's up, Mark?
Hey, guys. Listen, I don't know what it is, but it's like the definition of insanity. Every year we have the same talk. Last year they finally sort of addressed it, but it just seems like we do this like 4 out of 5 years lately, addressing the bullpen, and it just never gets addressed. And then this year, it wasn't just the bullpen, it was hitting. I'm sorry, I don't want to be mean, but what are these guys doing? It's like, I can't take it anymore. I don't get it. And it's just we go through the same thing, and you guys have to get aggravated. We all get aggravated.
I don't have to get aggravated. I just get aggravated. I don't like watching horse bleep baseball. I just don't. I just don't. I'm too old. I don't have time to watch this crap. I really don't.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm in the same boat as you, and I love baseball, but I can't. Like, you just can't watch this. It's too much. And you're bringing up guys, like you said, guys that, like, my son throws better than some of these guys.
What's your son's name? Let's get him out there. I can give you a number. You can call him. You can get him out there.
You can put Hunter on the field any day.
There you go.
Exactly. Okay, but it's incredible. It's too much.
Yeah,
it drives me nuts.
Yeah, Mark, I appreciate the call, and let's be clear about this. They had a good bullpen last year, and I've made this point, Kevin. We've made this point. Ross Atkins generally, and this is what puzzles me. Generally, I mean, if you have to rate him and this organization on what they do well, bringing in pitching, whether it's signing guys, yes, they sign guys to contracts and give them all an extra year and more money than anybody else. But the point is they still do it. And the point is most of those work out. Or addressing the bullpen. They've generally, hasn't always worked out, but they've generally been pretty aggressive in that regard. And I keep getting back to Adam Simber and Trevor Richards.
Yeah.
And that's what puzzles me about this, because this can't be a surprise. You know, we talked about the dangers of running back the same bullpen crew 3 years in a row, which is essentially what these guys did. And, Jordan Romano's probably done for the rest of the year now. Jimmy Garcia is rehabbing. And if I'm Jimmy Garcia, I'm stretching that rehab out as close to the trade deadline as I can. It's there's still a ton of baseball to be played. I'm sending out an SOS. Somebody save our summer. I mean, that's where we are right now. Gary in Vancouver, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Gary?
I was just talking to your producer about I watched the whole game. Kikuchi, he pitched what I would consider a really good game considering what he had to work with. And but I'm going to say this. Pop makes a blunder of a play that should have been an out. Then they bring in another guy that I'm not sure what he was doing, but I think he was pitching to his girlfriend up the second deck, but whatever he was doing, he wasn't doing it right. This is embarrassing. People, I would not pay $10 to see this than on what they're being paid, what they're paying, and they're being booed. And I think Atkins, the general manager, he's either going to have to do something or get fired, because I'm mad, and I watched this, and you're kidding.
Yeah, no,
it's ugly.
I can tell you're mad. I can tell you're mad. And the thing is, and Gary, thanks for the call. We got a lot of callers. I want to get to them as quickly as I can. Here's the thing about bad bullpens. Nothing makes the game more unwatchable than a bad bullpen. Yeah, I mean, it's just it extends ugliness is what bad bullpens do. And what I just don't get, I don't know what, I just don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. To me, not doing anything to this bullpen, I mean, that's basically like running out a white flag. And this bullpen should have been addressed a month ago, somehow. Mm-hmm. And don't tell me that it's hard to make trades. There are people getting much more money than we are who are supposed to figure out how to do this, how to address these bullpen issues. And they flop. They failed badly. And that's what I said. I mean, you could talk about Vladdy, Bo, whatever. It's irrelevant right now. It's irrelevant right now until they get the bullpen sorted out. And I don't know if they want to. I honestly don't know if they want to. I don't know what that means, but I just don't know. And they've had injuries. Everybody's had injuries. So I'm, like most callers, this is where we are. 416-870-0590. No, it's not. 1-888-666-0590. It is Blue Jays talk. The Blue Jays losing to the Houston Astros tonight. The bullpen, 9-2 is the final score. The bullpen really giving it up. 7 runs, 6 earned in 3 1/3 innings. Plenty of blame to go around in this one. Zach Pop. Brendan Little gets no blame, I guess. Zach Pop, Bowden Francis. Just not competitive. And yeah, it's a team that's had a good June. It's a team that's pulled itself back into the race. But again, I look at the Astros. They got an entire starting rotation on the IL. Like, the Jays have no excuses. There's no excuses here about injuries. It's tough what happened to Jordan Romano. It's tough what happened to Jimmy Garcia. Well, that happens. The Jays, for the most part, have been pretty healthy compared to other teams doing better than them. And that's an indictment. That's a real indictment of this organization. We're waiting to hear from John Schneider, the Blue Jays manager. Again, for those of you who missed it, a little bit of news earlier today. Jordan Romano has undergone surgery, elbow surgery. It's not a Tommy John surgery. It's for an impingement. So I guess that counts as a positive. We already mentioned Vladdy is voted into his 4th consecutive All-Star game, or he's in his 4th consecutive All-Star game, 3rd time as a starter. Danny Jansen expected to rejoin the team tomorrow after his paternity leave expires. Justin Turner is on paternity leave right now, and the Jays will finish off this 4-game series tomorrow afternoon at the Rogers Center against the Houston Astros. And it's off on the road, and then it's the All-Star break. And boy, oh boy, the All-Star break, Kevin Barker, the All-Star break can't get here soon enough.
Yeah, I would think some players feel the same way, right? I think Bo's one of them. I mean, the full hack that he took getting hit in the elbow, that's, I'd like to say that there's worse things to do, but that's pretty tough, right? I mean, just how late he is with everything he's doing mechanically, it's just a little bit odd, Jeff. I can't really figure that one out.
Yeah, and no, I'm with you. We don't know. We're not in Bo's head.
Nope.
But this is, to me, what we're seeing from Bo is more shocking than anything we'd ever see from Vladdy, because I kind of expect Bo to roll out of bed and be hitting 290, 280. I just do. I never thought I'd see him in this type of a slump.
Yeah, he's pushing 300 at bats. Like, that's a ton, right?
That's a ton of at bats.
Yeah, and just the stuff that he's swinging at. That's the confusing part. Like, we know he's a free swinger, but man, I mean, he's swinging at stuff it's not even close to being a strike, and that's the odd thing, right? It's either he's not seeing the ball out of the hand. Like, it looked to me like he shortened the leg kick a little today. It looked like he was trying to make a conscious effort to at least try and get it down a little bit sooner to allow all that stuff to take place. But, man, it's just consistently, it just seems he can't put it all together in a complete game, right? The changeup he got down the middle, he hammered that thing, and that's the part that I don't understand. Sometimes you got to go outside the box, and for him, outside the box is not being such a free swinger. Control the stuff that you're not swinging at a little bit better, to at least give yourself a chance until you start hammering things, and then you can go back to being the Bo Bichette that you want to be and everybody loves to see. But man, that one I don't get.
416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. Let's go to Russ in New Jersey, then we'll take a break. Russ, how are you? And I want to hear from you. If you're at the ballpark tonight, by the way, give us a call. I want to hear from you in particular, what you saw, what you are seeing, and where you are with this team. Go ahead, Russ.
Okay, so first of all, it's funny you talk about the All-Star voting at Guerrero, and it's how times have changed. I remember as a kid sitting at Exhibition Stadium and taking like 1,000 ballots,
punching
into punching in John Mayberry or Roy Howell or Louis Gomez, and usually the guy didn't even make it up in the top 10, and I was sitting there like punching the hole. So times have changed. You know, the hit batsman, you talked about it. I don't know if you guys remember, but the third game of the four-game series we played in Baltimore, and that was I think it was August, when the Blue Jays, that was the only game they won in that series. That kid came in and I think he hit 3 batters. It might have been in 4 or 5 batters. The Jays won that game 4-1, I remember. And that was the only game that he hit like that guy. That reminded me of that game. You know, I called the other day and I was on the message line. And I'm not saying to rip down the team. If Guerrero wants to stay, guys, you know, he's definitely a great player. You know, he's obviously lately he's been hot. But I don't want to hear we're 5 games out in August and the guy's telling me, oh, we're in the playoff race. We're not in the playoff race.
Yeah, they won't be 5 games out in August at this rate.
Yeah, they're about 5 or 6 out of the wild card, and they'll still be trying to get you. Because remember, I don't know what's going to happen with Atkins. I don't think he's getting fired. I think he's Shapiro's guy, and he's been there. You know, he gave LaCava the job for about 5 minutes, and then he gave it over to Atkins. But the bottom line is there's going to be a lot of heat. If this team doesn't make the playoffs, which I don't think there's any chance they're making the playoffs, and you just listen, you know, you go back and you listen to Atkins in the offseason. Oh, I think it was a blip on the radar screen. The offense is really good. The offense is bad. The pitching is not. What is the pitching? 23rd or 24th in the ERA. Now I know numbers aren't everything, but it says a lot about this team. This team is right now a very poor baseball team. You know, they're better than a couple teams in the AL. And for all you playoff guys who still think the Blue Jays might have a chance, took a little hurt tonight because Houston just won the season series. So that's another team who you're going to battle it out. Who, if you some way think they're going to be in the playoff race, you're gonna lose a tiebreaker to Houston. The one team that the Blue Jays last year, it didn't come down to that, did have the tiebreaker against because they beat them 4 out of 7. So all I say is it might be. I know it sounds crazy, guys, but it might be better if they lose. I just want them to know we're out. Trade Jansen, trade Kikuchi, trade whoever you can. I know you're not going to get back, great players for them. But they got to admit at some point, stop with this wild card. We're still in it for 24. It's not happening. It's 86 games into the season, and this team hasn't won more than 4 in a row.
Now, Russ, I appreciate the call. Listen, if they think they've got a legitimate shot at the wild card, then go out and add some relief pitchers. Otherwise, don't be trying to peddle your wild card BS to me.
I think they're telling you already by not going out and doing it.
I think they are.
Yeah, you've been saying this.
This is a case where actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. In the pudding, you ain't proofing it.
The hell is that? 416-870. I have no idea. 416. Does anybody even make pudding anymore?
I don't think so.
Do you remember that instant pudding?
Yeah,
stuff?
It wasn't real good, was it?
No, it wasn't real good.
You thought it was good? No.
No, God, no. No, anyhow, 416-870-0590. Now, of course, it's already prepared for the kids. They just open a can.
Spoiled.
Yeah. 416-870-0590, star 591, 888-866-0590. Pudding, bullpens, whatever you want to talk about, we're here for you. It's Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikey's accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a